Trophy.
Welcome back to the M. Chinnaswamy Stadium, and this is the Maharani Trophy KSCA T20 2026 match number 2. Hubli Tigers versus Mysore Warriors. Live from our iconic M. Chinnaswamy Stadium. The first game which just got over. Kalyani Bengaluru Blasters having put up a clinical performance and a comprehensive victory against Gulbarga Mystics. We are now down to the evening match. Lights are on full blast at the M. Chinnaswamy Stadium. And I'm K. Srinath. Along with me is Vikram in the combox. We shall go down to the toss. And let's see what transpired at the toss.
Maharani Trophy 2026, and it is going to be the defending champions Hubli Tigers taking on the Mysore Warriors. Very important clash. Let me remind you that this is probably the revenge match of the 2025 finals, maybe, you never know. But we have the skippers right here, Vrinda Dinesh, of course, the skipper of Hubli Tigers, and of course we have Shubha Satish, the skipper of Mysore Warriors, and on to my extreme left is Mihira Chogle, the match referee. And I think you got the coin. Yeah, you will be spinning and Shubha will be calling. Yeah, please go for it. Heads is the call, and Mihira had to turn around 360 degree. It is heads, right? So, Mysore Warriors, Shubha win the toss. Was that right to say the 2025 finals revenge match, first match for you guys?
Fresh year, fresh start. Nothing taking from the past, only the confidence.
Lovely. What would you like to do?
We'll go having bowling first.
Why is that?
Flat wicket, and I think the pitch will remain the same throughout. So looking to chase.
Last question. How was the team combination? Happy with the combination and everything as a skipper?
Yes, absolutely happy.
All the very best. Do well, skipper. Thank you. Thank you so much. Vrinda, what would you have done, Vrinda?
We were looking to bowl as well.
Okay. Yeah. And how is your combination looking forward to for this match, first one?
I believe we are batting strong, and that's been our strength. So yeah, I think a good total on the board will help us win this game.
Yeah, lovely. A lot of mentors I see. How was their contribution to Hubli Tigers?
I mean, they're very positive, very supportive. We have got a very chill atmosphere in the dugout, so that's definitely helping all the players together.
Yeah, lovely. Do well as well. Thank you. Thank you so much. Right, that's the news from the center as Mysore Warriors have won the toss and they'll be bowling first. We'll come with the first ball. Stay tuned.
Thank you, Naveen. That was the toss, and the Mysore Warriors won the toss and decided to have a bowl first. Welcome, Vikram. And what does this rekindle in your memory, Vikram? Mysore Warriors was the Hubli Tigers.
Thank you, Naveen. A fantastic encounter last year when they met at Aru Stadium in the final. These same two sides met. Some wonderful bowling performance by Priya Chavan, I remember. Tejaswini Biji, who is not in this tournament because she's busy at the COE. And Mysore was just reaching the crescendo and actually finishing it. And just then, a few false shots here and there, and Hubli got right back into the game. So fantastic memory. The game was the winner in the end. A fantastic standard performance by Priya Chavan, and we'll be seeing her later in the day.
As we take a look at the squads, I think Hubli Tigers, they have one of the strongest batting lineups. Most of the Karnataka stalwarts are figuring in that particular squad. You reckon it's going to be a batting display from Hubli Tigers versus the Mysore Warriors bowling?
I think I quite agree with that. There is some real power pack batters in the Hubli team. Pratyusha, Divya, who's been a senior veteran of the Karnataka team and back in the fold after a few years. Nikki Prasad, no less. So yes, you're right. As we watch the first ball.
Plays the call. Straight away, hint of movement. Slight inward movement and a quiet inquiry from the bowler. Mysore having decided to bowl first after winning the toss. It's Alam who's starting proceedings from the pavilion end, the Anil Kumble pavilion end. The opening batters are Pratyusha and Vrinda Dinesh, two powerful strikers, and both of them have played the game at the highest level. They've had the experience of playing franchisee cricket. The start is going to be very, very important.
This ball that straightened up, and as Pratyusha tried to work that around, there wasn't much purchase there. Yeah, one thing I must say is that the Mysore team is extremely happy to retain the core of the previous year. How well does that augur for a team wanting to, build a stable base?
In fact, if the auction goes well, I think half the job is done. If they've managed to do that, I think it's a great beginning. And Alam up against two stalwarts. What will be going through her mind? Power play, just two fielders outside the 25-yard circle. It's been a dream start so far. She says, I'm not worried about the names in front of me. It could be Pratyusha K, it could be Vrinda Dinesh. I've got a ball in hand, I've got a job on hand. That's the key to handle pressure situations, and you're on a platform wherein you're being watched by millions on YouTube, and obviously the pressure of performing in such a big platform is very, very important for these young girls.
So talking about half the job well done in the auction, actually Hubli was very confident about what they were doing. They went very big for the very big players, and in the end they had to slow down. They ran out of money, so they also feel they did the job well.
Auctions are always pretty difficult and different. You have plan A, you have plan B and plan C, but the amount of money you need to spend, and you go for a particular player all out. It happens, you build the side around them. It's a tricky scenario. A relief for Pratyusha. First runs off the bat, and what was required from Mysore. We saw wickets fall at a regular interval in the previous game, and the Mystics were not able to get off the blocks was due to the dot ball pressure the bowlers applied at the beginning. That's what the Mysore Warriors team would look to replicate. First time in this game, it's Vrinda Dinesh on strike. Last ball of the first over from Alam coming up.
Yeah, Alam came into the side last year as a replacement player, from what I recall. And one of the things you'll find with her is a consistent, she shades the lines around outside off stump. You'll probably see a 6-3 field happening very soon.
Would be happy with the start, Mysore. Alam finishes off for the dot, just a single of the first over. One without loss, or Hubli Tigers. As expected, over number 2 from the Rahul Dravid end, we are seeing spin in the form of Sahana Pawar, left arm round, up against two stalwarts we spoke about, Pratyusha K. She represented the RCB in the Women Premier League, and Vrinda Dinesh was with the UP Warriors. The sort of experience they would have gained rubbing shoulders with the who's who in international cricket, especially the foreign cricketers, would have been of immense value for them, and the same thing is what they're going to rub off on the rest of the youngsters in the Hubli Tigers team.
Absolutely, experience counts for a lot, and it's going to rub off onto the younger players.
Packed offside field with the luxury of having only two outside the 25-yard circle in the first 6 overs. Shot third, backward point, extra cover, and mid-off. Now we see a change as Vrinda Dinesh comes into strike. They have a sweeper cover, short square leg, short fine and mid on inside the circle on the leg side, and a cow corner. We always talk about strategies. We've got a performance analyst who sits and deciphers what are the fields, what are the areas that the bowlers need to bowl to the particular batters. Execution becomes of utmost importance.
So Vrinda is of course going to be very watchful, but her favorite way to go is actually to plant herself around fifth stump and try to hike the ball, move the field around, play a ramp, play a scoop.
Just mentioned that, and we could see her trying to create some space on the onside. But Vrinda just gets a single of that. And this battle would be particularly interesting. Pratyusha versus Sahana Pawar. Both of them apparently turned out for RCB in the Women Premier League. It's not about the matchups. The amount of time they would have spent in the change room, played along with each other, trying things out in the nets. They would know each other's game, you know, just like second skin.
That's a big long off, and that's going to be a boundary. A fantastic first boundary coming up. Well done with the Hubli Tigers. They're starting the excitement now. Yeah, so like you did say, I think Vrinda is going to be a little watchful as we see this replay.
Just under the bat, over pitched. Good timing and elevation on that particular shot. The first Kalyani Motors boundary for Hubli Tigers. Are they on? Is this the impetus that they required in this power play? The first boundary from the bat of Pratyusha. Sort of confidence a batter can get once they get through a boundary. A slight misfield and comfortably taken off single. We once again see a small change in the field as soon as Vrinda Dinesh comes on strike. Sweeper cover goes back. There's a cow corner on the leg side. Last ball coming up for Sahana Pawar. Once again the slog sweep, and it beats the fielder at cow corner. Finishing off the over in style with a boundary to deep square leg. 2 boundaries in this over. End of over number 2. 12 without loss is Hubli Tigers.
Resumes her second over, third over of the innings. That's got away handsomely, just backward a point. There's no fielder there, backward a point. That's a fantastic boundary. She's going to bisect those areas. The batters are looking to dominate here. Like I was saying, Alam likes to target that offside area, but she's going to have to move her field a little bit now. I foresee a change in line right now. Middle stump perhaps.
Could be smart thinking, I would say. But as Alam has been good enough so far, she's put the ball in the right areas, which is the most important thing, up against two high-quality batters.
Those are some of the crimes that you have to watch out for bowling down leg. Sometimes you overcompensate. But I think it's a great opportunity for Alam to prove herself against two of the top batters. She has been in the state under-19 side last year. She made one tour. That was the 50 overs tour, not in the season gone by, the season before that. So it's a good platform for the players to prove themselves against these matchups, if you might like to call it that.
Straight on the ground, couple of bounces in the area of hitting for Pratyusha. She doesn't lose out on these on too many occasions. Full swing of the bat, the best place in the ground is to go down the ground.
Yeah, quite right. And you're right about the power play. It's almost like the players have heard you. They know what they're doing, but just going over the top, making full use of the power play. And experienced players like this would completely utilize it, whereas we found sometimes that inexperienced players tend to overdo it in the power play. So this is a great pedestal, a great platform.
They're just dealing in boundaries. Kalyani motor boundaries. They're just motoring along with those big hits. Either it's my way or the highway. Either it's dot balls or boundary force. True, for Alam, it's definitely a huge learning. Bowling to two of the best batters in Karnataka. Vrinda Dinesh and Pratyusha, who spent a lot of time playing franchisee cricket with the sort of experience they've had playing through those leagues. Once again, cut handsomely to the right of point this time around. A flurry of boundaries, 3 in this over. Finishes off this over with a boundary. 25 without loss at the end of 3 overs are Hubli Tigers. See another bowling change at the Rahul Dravid end. The third bowler introduced into the attack. Sahana Pawar did go for 11 in a first over. Right arm leg spinner, Diksha, off spinner. Oh, rarity to see an off spinner figuring in the playing 11. And more so, coming on to bowl in the power play against two right-handers and who are powerful strikers of a cricket ball.
She had a very successful outing in the last 2 seasons, so made the under-19 team very quickly and also in the under-23. Let's see what she has to offer this over.
Interesting to hear that a lot of these girls have graduated through the junior rungs. A couple of them have come through under 15s, 19s and 23s. So the future really beckons big time for Karnataka cricket. Just not alone making it the grade to the senior teams, but also looking at the Women Premier League, trying to make an impact there and then moving on to the Indian colours.
Quite right. And Diksha's game has really come on in a big way. She actually was a pace bowler 2.5 years ago, and she changed the game like so many others who are changing over to a craft they think they can master better. She's also had a stint at the COE, so she's on a high.
You think to master a craft or to get that much easier? Because anybody you give them a cricket ball in the hand, even in gully cricket, the easiest thing they do is they come and bowl off spin. Nobody tries leg spin or somebody to bowl with left arm spin. Anyway, due credit, if she's been successful in the last couple of years bowling off spin, really hats off to her.
That ball gone straight to the fielder, and that's caught out there. Shubha Satish celebrating there. Fantastic. A first wicket falling. This is going to send some jitters in the Hubli camp. They thought they'd get off to a fantastic start. Just a little bit of a slowdown there, and Honushi Diksha strikes.
First wicket tossed up in the slot to hit. No elevation there. Shubha Satish would have represented India in a test match. Bounces upon the catch at mid-off comfortably. Mid-off inside. The ball there to be hit. But Pratyusha didn't get the elevation there. Happy scenes for Mysore. The first wicket down, 26 for 1, Hubli Tigers. Disha strikes straight away in her first over. This forces the number 3 batter into the crease. Who else has walked in? Nikki Prasad, another name who's making waves. Creating that element of doubt. New ball going on with the arm. Nikki Prasad trying to work that ball around to mid-on. Succeeds to get a leading edge. Dot ball pressure is what we talk about. There's just been one single in the first ball she's bowled. Excellent timing. Splits the gap between extra cover and mid-off. Pitch delivery deserved to be put there. What a start for Nikki Prasad. Ends over number 4. Hubli Tigers 30 for 1.
Oh, watch this replay there. Bisecting those fielders there, mid-off and the fielder to the left of that. And a fantastic boundary there. And the tempo's back with Hubli for now.
We talk about stalwarts in the Hubli Tigers team. That was an exquisite extra cover drive from Nikki Prasad, who captained the India under-19 team, which was the World Cup winner in 2025. I mean, the richest of players they've got in the Hubli Tigers team is something really big. Do you think the Mysore Warriors at some point in time would have been bogged down by the sort of names they're looking at?
Well, call it something of color, like the CSK team, which wears the canary or gold color. Mysore team wears the same color, and they actually want to consolidate the same side. I do not think that they were too perturbed about any other team trying to buy the players they wanted to. Mysore had their plans, so I don't think that really bogged them down. Now, Sahana Pawar starts the next over. Wily left arm orthodox. She calls herself a one-arm bowler, but I think she's got more than that to offer.
Slog sweep, and once again we see an excellent piece of fielding, and a better throw would have had Vrinda Dinesh in trouble. As Vrinda has been pretty clear about what sort of areas and shots she needs to play. She's been consistently playing the slog sweep, knowing that there's only one fielder at the cow corner. That's the area which he's going to target. The power play, as always, we talk about, it's going to be very, very important for both sides.
Yeah, just about Vrinda, since you mentioned her, her coach tells me that she's been found out in many ways, that she has these typical strokes where her teammates like Sahana Pawar know what she's going to do. So she's a smart one who changes her batting setup accordingly and tries to play a different array of strokes. That's the trait of Vrinda.
Somebody mentioned this to me a few years ago. They said cricket is a pretty boring game because we do a lot of things that are repetitive. I told them I think that's why maybe in 2007 the World Cup was played T20 and then IPL came into existence. This has become innovative and it's not repetitive or boring. But from the way Vrinda has been batting, you're saying her penchant or patent shot is the slog sweep. That is something they would have practiced thousands of times in the nets. It's not easy to pull off something, extempore when you come out to bat there. That's the challenge you face there. But Sahana Pawar, you need to really give it to her. She's held herself well. And as you said, they've been teammates. They've played so much of cricket together. They know in and out of what each player does. But at the end of the day, it all boils down to how you hold your nerve at this particular point in time.
You're quite right. It's got to be made exciting, that people have to have change. The bowlers have change ups. Even the batters need to shuffle around and do something different. And Vrinda's smart enough to do that. Right now she's playing from a crease, but you'll see different things from her shortly.
Obviously, as a batter, you need to be street smart, try to outfox the bowler. But the bowler always in this particular format is thinking on her feet, trying to see what the batter is up to. So far, a pretty tight over from Sahana Pawar. Will she finish it off well? Yes, a pull shot off the pad. We need to wait for the signal from the umpire. Oh, she says it's bad. End of over number 5. And Hubli Tigers are 34 for the loss of 1 wicket.
Changes voices. The last over of the power play. Diksha will start off with a that was an offer. Cut away brilliantly well. Boundary. And welcoming Diksha to the crease with a boundary in her second over as well as Nikki P. I'm Navin Shauri. Alongside with me is Param Shah. That cut was cut above the rest, probably.
Yeah, good evening, Naveen. Good evening to our viewers. Absolutely beautifully cut. And again, as they were saying earlier, the making use of the power play, trying to get as many runs as they can. Nikki Prasad, a very experienced campaigner, has played for the Delhi Capitals in the WPL, has captained India in the under-19s.
All that is really paying off well to the Hubli Tigers. But off the cam of Mike, we were discussing about how aggressive were Hubli Tigers during the auctions. I mean, of course, you were an integral part. You were witnessing that one as well. And how frequently were they raising that bat up?
Yeah, they were quite aggressive, especially for the senior state and the national players. They wanted to make sure that they get the best combination, which is why they've picked 5 players from the senior pool.
Absolutely, Vrinda Dinesh becomes a big name for sure. Slogs it away wonderfully well. Boundary at deep mid-wicket. Immaculate timing on that occasion from Vrinda Dinesh.
Beautifully swept. And coming back to what we were saying earlier, Naveen, I think you think this side of a field placement would be ideal when an off-spinner is bowling to a right-hander. They have only one fielder in the deep mid-wicket and long on.
A nice topic to discuss because, you know, she just played that shot so good in front of square. And you also need to probably give it to Diksha as well because Vrinda Dinesh and Nikki P, both of them coming in with so much of experience behind them. And this is the power play. It's not easy. It's really not easy that you stop those shots that has been played like in the speed of Vande Bharat Express, right? Bowling around the stumps. Definitely went like a tracer bullet. But if I say that, Ravi Shastri is going to call me up and say, hey, that's my line. So we say Vande Bharat for that matter. End of the power play. Really good power play for the Hubli Tigers. 44 for 1 after 6. I'll tell you what, coming back to that auctions, it's time that we actually given to what actually went about in those very intruding and aggressive time. Hubli Tigers, of course, you had that defending champions tag on themselves, so probably they went into 4 or 5 India representatives and made sure that they spent good amount. And having said that, they probably might be also somewhere, you know, lucky for, say, 25-30% of their prize back, because they did get Vrinda Dinesh for what, 4.2 lakhs? Yeah.
Absolutely, as we were mentioning earlier, they were very, very aggressive. They wanted to ensure that they picked the best combination. They want to defend that title that they have won last year. And clearly, you can see it in their intent when they've come out to bat. Vrinda Dinesh and Nikki Prasad, both of them solid start here.
Yeah, Shishira Gowda comes in from the Anil Kumble end into the attack. And this is, as I was mentioning in the toss, is a revenge match of 2025 Maharani Trophy. Direct hit from the deep, and the umpire wants to check this. Shishira thinks that's close. Well, can this be a little turn in the tail? Param, you shaking your head. No, you didn't feel that it was close?
Looks close, Naveen.
The cameras can tell us a lot of other stories now. How close is a question? Thankfully there for the Hubli Tigers. Brilliant bit of a piece there from the throw that we saw in the deep. Also just aiming at one stump. It's all that practice that comes into play every time. And what the umpire also is checking, if the bat is somewhere in the air, because she's definitely not landed her foot down, the bat is well grounded. Beautiful example of any teenager watching this one, how to go ahead and complete your second run. Drag your bat into the crease. Brilliantly done.
Yeah, absolutely. That's textbook cricket for you, Naveen. That's what we are taught as youngsters, to drag the bat. The bat comes first and then the body follows.
Definitely. Now, if I would be sitting with Srinath, I'd be probably saying, any youngster watching, I'd probably rather say, that makes me sound old as well. So I say, any teenager watching. But a lovely combo that we did enjoy in the Maharaja Trophy. K. Srinath, me, and of course we had the head coach of the women Mysore Warriors, Karuna Jain, in the commentary box as well. She's coaching Mysore Warriors. Of course, for the Hubli Tigers, we do have a lot of mentors. I did see, Ritesh Bhatkal also going out there and being a good mentor for the Hubli Tigers. That's really nice. So not just the players. And that will go over that mid-wicket fielder. 6. Fabulous hit from Nikki P. And that's the first Cycle Pure Agarbatti 6 of this match. What timing on that occasion. Reaches the 50 as well, Hubli Tigers. And use that crease really well, isn't it? Put that weight behind on the back foot, go back deep, and even though there was a deep mid-wicket fielder, that ball sailed over her head. Good course correction. So yeah, I was talking about the support staff of the Hubli Tigers as well. So what they've done is not just putting out good players under the hammer during the auction. They've also given a good support staff.
Absolutely, you need a good think tank when you're forming a team. And the likes of Karuna Jain, the likes of Ritesh Bhatkal, Arjun Dev, Samarth Hegde for Kalyani Bengaluru Blasters, and an S.N. Amit for the Gulbarga Mystics are very, very experienced campaigners.
Again, a bit short. Again, that's in the gap towards square leg. Boundary again. This time all along the carpet. But Shishira won't be happy with that delivery either. Again, using that back foot to good effect.
Yeah, coming into the right-hander there, off the wicket, but she was quick on that and beautifully placed. Mentioning earlier that Arjun Dev, an experienced coach, has also coached Shriyanka Patil, and he will be bringing in a lot of experience onto this Hubli Tigers camp.
No doubt. Single will be on offer. Costly over here from Shishira Gowda. 15 off her first. 7 gone, 59 for 1. Projected looks really healthy as of now, since Vrinda Dinesh is still there in the middle. Probably they'll be wondering if 180 would be a good total on this wicket.
Yeah, if these two get going the way they are, can be very, very dangerous for the Mysore Warriors. About 175, 180 should be a par score from this point.
As Pooja comes into the attack from the Rahul Dravid end, she needs to stop this run flow, because what has happened is they've scored very freely. And good time here for Shubha Satish to bring in the off spinner again against two right-handers. And you speak of matchups, and see, that's exactly why I keep mentioning, because when the ball comes into your body, it's easier to play, because generally in the subcontinent what we do, we use our wrists really well, isn't it? Whether it's the bottom hand or the top hand, the wrist usage is immensely powerful. So when the ball comes into your body, it becomes much more easier for the right-hander. See? Just like that. Just like that.
Good use of rarity to see finger spinners or off spinners, but we're seeing a lot of off spin being used by the Mysore Warriors. Maybe there's a strategy there. Maybe they're trying to pack your leg side.
Still having a lot on the off. So there are a few gaps that they can pick up. As Nikki P and Vrinda, they know to milk around this field. But I'll tell you what, even if it's an offie bowling to a right-hander, you'll probably need to bring in all the innovations. And that's where the world's greatest came along, isn't it? With the doosras, the carom balls, and everything. So that is something of an art that they'll need to really master out. Of course, very young in their cricketing careers, they will pick it up. Any off-spinner for that matter. Drags it. Good stop. Fabulous. Definitely saved 2 runs for her team at that short square.
As you were mentioning earlier, someone like a Muttaya Muralidharan or someone like a Ravichandran Ashwin, who's been very, very, in fact, known for his use of the carom ball. So a bit of variations here and there definitely will help Pooja.
When we speak of those innovations that comes in, nice flight. So, that's beaten the fielder at the mid-wicket. Boundary. Shubha Satish is not happy with that effort. Definitely unhappy, but Vrinda Dinesh will take it. Another boundary for her. She did all the hard work really well. Just couldn't get the body behind the line of the ball. But I was just mentioning about how important is the cricketers bringing in a lot of innovations. Speak of the great guns who've been ambassadors for most of the off-spin era. I think it also, say, when you speak of Ritesh Bhatkal now for Hubli Tigers, he's been there as a support staff, a big mentor there. He's brought in so many changes. We saw that in the Maharani Trophy.
Absolutely. In fact, he had a great tournament in the Maharani Trophy, not just with the ball, but also with the bat.
Absolutely. And the only match that he couldn't probably perform is when the batting order got shuffled. When DDP came in, he had to let go of that number 3 slot. Blasted away down the ground, but there is protection. Pooja, just look at her fingers and say, okay, I haven't hurt it much on a happy occasion. 8 overs gone, 67 for 1. Pushpa will be coming into the attack once again. So what Subhash Satish is trying to do is she's trying to bring in new bowlers every over. Now, this is the third new bowler that's been introduced into the attack. I wonder why, because she just wants to keep trying, because it's just Nikki P and Vrinda D on the pitch.
Well, the interesting here to see, Naveen, is Pushpa coming into the attack, but the wicketkeeper is now standing up to the stumps.
Yeah, that'll stop Nikki from dancing across the crease. But for me, I really need to break this strategy out clearly well from Shubha Satish, because bringing in third new bowler into the attack, and maybe because, you know, it's that consolidation phase from that 6th to 10th over, they're just probably trying to knock things around in the middle, or maybe bring in a new bowler to pick up wickets, so it can be a double-edged sword. And that's up in the air, but will go all the way. 6. Good timing once again from Vrinda Dinesh, and Hubli Tiger skipper is doing this in style. And the use of the crease does not matter, even with the keeper standing up in the front, isn't it? He just kneels down one leg, and moving away across the off stump mattered a lot. Change of angles from Pushpa. Doesn't matter, I guess it will fall short of that mid-wicket fielder. Pooja out there. They've got that cow's corner, wide-ish deep mid-wicket, exactly in front of square, because Vrinda likes to play the ball so early that goes precisely front of square, not behind.
Yeah, great effort there by Pooja, but just fell slightly short. As you can see, Vrinda Dinesh is looking to play across a lot, especially in the power play.
I think probably she's got the eye in 90 deliveries, so there's no problem in attempting any shot. But I was trying to say, why stick to new bowlers every over? They've been costly, I agree. That's why you're probably shifting bowlers, yes. But Shubha needs to find at least one bowler at one end who will close the tap of runs.
Yeah, it's a matter of one breakthrough, Naveen. I think they get that breakthrough, they get that confidence back.
That's in the air, but wide of the long off fielder. Boundary again. Vrinda Dinesh. Yeah, like I said, the captain is doing in style, and this is the first boundary of this over after that big 6.
Going over cover, and another Kalyani Motors boundary.
And look at the gap she, pierced. There was that short extra cover and long off. There's that minute gap between those two fielders. And because of the angle, because the ball was going wide outside the off stump, that gave the elevation as well for Vrinda Dinesh to free her arms. Slow ball, good thinking. But still a costly over from Pushpa. 14 off her first. 9 overs gone. 81 for 1 now, Hubli Tigers. Last over before drinks, and this is good to see, because Pooja will continue. I think one of the rarities in the 6 to 10 over mark, we see the bowler continuing. As an off spinner, Shubha has entrusted her offie to just not get a breakthrough, probably just try and stop that leak of runs. But Vrinda Dinesh, she's got clear plans.
Yeah, as we were talking earlier, she has come out with an intent to try and score as many runs as possible.
How important that is for the captain to field at deep mid-wicket. Subha Satish. Becomes that more difficult to communicate with your bowler. See, there she is again at deep mid-wicket. So, every time there is something that you will need to tell your bowler, ask your bowler to do, something that is a little bit of a tough situation, yeah.
I think it's also a conscious decision, Naveen, that the captain wants to be in the areas where the ball is coming. Maybe try and create those opportunities and chances.
Maybe a good point, and also get some information from the dugout. Big shot, and the fielder will not get through. Boundary again here for Vrinda Dinesh. She moves on to 45. And also how quickly she did pick up that length, isn't it? It was short, it was wide. She knew that there was deep extra cover. Had to just place it wide of her. And now that fielder has moved away as well towards that square instead of being too finer. This is a definite onslaught where the Mysore Warriors need to find a way to stop this run flow.
Could be a good total.
Comfortably at this stage, they will be reaching to 190 even if she stays on. Because most important that this partnership carries on as long as possible for the Hubli Tigers. And just at the brink of drinks, you know, you also will probably be feeling as Mysore Warriors will need some thinking to come out from the dugout. That's a good sportive spirit. Very nicely done.
Set of overs.
That's up in the air. Long on will be interested. And takes it! Vrinda Dinesh has to walk back, and it is Subha Satish. Even under the lights, she grabs a big wicket here. And Pooja sticking with your off spinner. That has been paid off for the Mysore Warriors.
Yeah, looks like she didn't time that. And we were mentioning earlier, Subha Satish wants to be in those important areas where the ball will come to her. She wants to be in the action.
Yeah, the Hubli Tigers skipper gave us good entertainment, good action from her. 46, very disappointed that she did not time it really well. Better off probably going straight batted. She just sliced it. Didn't get a good hold on that one, as 10 overs have been completed. 89 for 2. And players, of course, will take drinks.
Break for drinks at the halfway mark, and a welcome sigh of relief for the Mysore Warriors. At the stroke of the call of drinks, they did get the big fish. in the wake of the skipper of the Hubli Tigers. Made a entertaining 46, Vrinda Dinesh, holding out long on, which gets in another big striker and a big name in Karnataka cricket, Divya. And Alam comes back into the attack at this point in time, and welcome back, Vikram.
Thank you, Sri. As that ball races to the boundary, it's going to be cut off. Batters take a quick two. Yeah, I felt in my heart of hearts that that was set up by Pooja Kumar. He was asked to throw the ball slightly wider, knowing that Vrinda will go for the slog sweep, and the ball not coming on. So I think that may have been good strategy from the Mysore Warriors.
They would have thought over it, and yes, it did pay off, and good execution, not only in terms of bowling, and the captain Shubha Satish having herself positioned on the vantage point of long on, pocketed that catch comfortably. Now it all boils down to Nikki Prasad and how Divya is going to just rally around her. Though it's the shortest format of the game, 120 balls, it's a game of T20 cricket. But partnerships are of utmost importance. That a good partnership between Nikki Prasad and Vrinda Dinesh. And Nikki would like to carry on from where she left. Just a quick breather and regrouping after the halfway mark.
Also, Sri, I'm sure Nikki would want to welcome Divya there. Divya has played for India A also, apart from being one of the stalwarts of Karnataka's batting. I remember in the seasons of 2022, 23 and 23-24, we were finalists twice, I think, and we lost to Railways. And Divya had a part to play. After that, she's kind of remodeled her game and coming back in a different way.
At some point in time, you know, it's not about reinventing the wheel per se, but trying to work on a certain area where you can get better. It's about redefining your game per se. Twice you've been there in that position and not able to cross the line in a final. And happy to see her come back in a different way and different mold. That's what is more important. And she would certainly be one of the important players in this Hubli setup. They're a gun batting unit. All the top 4 or 5 are batters who've not only played for Karnataka with pomp and honor, but also turned out for India A, India and franchisee cricket. There's loads of experience in this batting lineup.
Yeah, in bidding for the players and those massive prices, I think Arjun Dev, the coach of Hubli Tigers, knew what he was doing, and that's showing out there. Just on Divya, she's in the last 3 seasons hasn't really had a foothold. She hasn't been part of Karnataka's senior women's plans. And that's why I say she's remodeling her game. The different roles set out. The game has become more competitive. And I really think that this is the time for her to prove herself, get back into that team.
No better place and no better platform to build herself a stake. End of over 11, Hubli Tigers are 92 for the loss of 2 wickets. We always speak about players staking a claim. To come into the side for the first time around is a different ball game, but when it comes to making a comeback, your performance needs to be 2x, which certainly Divya would acknowledge. And what better time for her to get back into the fold of Karnataka senior cricket. This Maharani Trophy, this is the platform for her to set it ablaze again. Once again a slog sweep, and we see the mid-on coming in. An excellent effort there. Once again, it's Shubha Satish. The idea is pretty clear, throwing the ball just wide off the off stump, not in the range of the batter. Once again, a splice of the bat there. Timing pretty airy on that. Lucky to survive, I would say.
I think we might see some different strategies from the batters. I think Nikki, and as you see this catch just go down, Nikki would have realized that there's going to be a different line. There's bowlers bowling, and they don't want to fall in the trap. I'm sure she's sharing information out there with Divya. Let's see if they change their setup or approach their batting differently.
It's a clear case of trying to keep the ball away from the arc of the right-hander. We always say, as a spinner, you bowl in the arc, it's out of the park. But one boundary rider on the offside is just the sweeper cover. They've got 3 boundary riders on the leg side. It's a long on, it's a cow corner. Now we see the long off move back for Nikki Prasad. She's been pretty strong down the ground. She's used her feet well. Can call her nimble-footed. Hint of turn. When she's slowed up, she's worked with the revolutions on the ball. And who can say that off spinners are out of the game? 2.3, 1 for 19. Pooja certainly having a field day.
Yeah, Pooja Kumari is one of those who's very trusted with all the teams she plays in. The club team, the under-23s, Karnataka State Seniors, where she made the grade a year ago. So I think she's a big part of their bowling plans, and thence therein was the setup of bowling wide of the stumps. It's usually said that it's always an invitation to hit a 6, but not so on certain wickets, so if the bowler can change their pace well, right?
It's just not about planning and strategy, it's about execution, which is the most important thing, that too, under pressure. Just throws it up, and this time around beats the extra cover fielder. Exquisite timing on that occasion, and splits the gap with pinpoint precision. This time around it's Divya, her fast Kalyani Motors boundary.
That's a beautiful shot there, just in the extra cover region. No chance for a fielder to do anything. Straight away 4 runs. The batter gaining in confidence.
I think the execution of the shot and planning was very important in that. She didn't try to go for the hike over long on or mid wicket. Rather try to keep it simple and get it through extra cover. Smart cricket all round, drags a length back. She knew she had just given that ball a little bit more air and fuller in length, which resulted in that boundary. Nevertheless, a good over, accepting that boundary. And the last ball of the over coming up for Pooja. Finishes off in style, just a single. She would be pretty happy with that. At the end of 12 overs, Hubli Tigers have reached the coveted mark of 100 for 2 at the end of 12. For 2. Currently, they are motoring along at a run rate of 8.33. With this current run rate, they would end up at 167. You reckon 167 on this deck? We don't see any sign of dew, but under lights, definitely the conditions for batting get that much better. Will they reassess the condition and look for something in the range of 175, 180?
I think you're quite right with this kind of batting depth. And also, I think they're going to start to come down the pitch a little bit more, looking at how the ball's coming on.
Alam for a last over from the pavilion and the Anil Kumble diamond box end. Starts off with the wide. Yes, as and when time bites and the sort of partnerships they've built, they would certainly try to reassess the conditions, and they would have had a score in mind when they started off. They had a good power play, but for the loss of 1 wicket. But then the partnership between the skipper and Nikki really took the game away from Mysore. Nice little dab. That is clever cricket from Divya. Just a dab between short third and point. The ball racing away on this carpeted outfield at the M. Chinnaswamy Stadium. Another welcome boundary for Hubli Tigers.
It's beautifully placed just in that gap. Always asking to be placed over there, that kind of length. Do you see dew as being a factor in slowing down the runs in any way?
You would make life difficult for the bowlers per se, especially we've seen so many spinners in operation. But with you on the pitch, it's going to get that much more quicker, and faster bowlers with pace on the ball, it's going to make batting that much easier. Deft touch from Divya. It's just not about power hitting, which we talk about in T20 cricket. We recently had the Maharani Trophy finals, which took place on the 12th of July here, and We had about 6 of the league games and 4 playoffs played here. We did see very less dew in the night games. So just the ropes were used and not the super soppers to clear the dew. But so far we've not seen the players get out any towels to wipe the ball off. So far the conditions have been pretty good. Good batting conditions which the Hubli Tigers have made use of to the hilt so far.
My thought was around the fact that do you suppose some teams, especially in the women's game, knowing that there's a little less power available, would prefer to go over the top more because in terms of you helping the bowlers, yes, but otherwise in the outfield it's going to slow down some vital runs. So do you think that's possibly a tactic that's adopted in the women's game, if not the men's game?
True to an extent, when we see top teams in world cricket, especially Australia, who've had a stranglehold on T20 cricket, it's basically due to the power they get into the game. Where India lacked was the middle overs, the finishing touches they were not able to provide in the recently concluded T20 World Cup in England. I think that's some area where the Indians certainly would look to get better on. And yes, that's why we see so much of spin being operated when we play T20 cricket in India. The impetus is more on spinners to deliver, not on the faster bowlers, which is an area which the Indians would certainly look to work at.
And that's why you bring in the point that, like our co-commentators Naveen and Padam said, and you yourself said, playing under lights is a whole different experience, right? What I'm saying here is that this is the first game that the women are having under lights for them to test out the conditions. None of the BCCI games which you play for the state are played under lights. And last year when we had the matches, they were all-day matches. So a whole new experience for the girls.
Absolutely. It's just not about playing under cameras, but also under lights, which makes a huge difference. A good comeback and a good over from Alam. She finishes her spell of 4 overs, no wickets, but just 22 runs conceded in her spell. End of over number 13. Hubli Tigers are 105 for the loss of 2 wickets.
So just on that, yeah, I think you might agree with me that this kind of a platform for them to devise match strategy and under dewy conditions would help them when they play a high league of cricket like the WPL and even for India.
In fact, just adding to what you said, very less exposure they get to play under lights. But the senior T20 cricket for women in BCCI, the knockouts generally have one odd game that are played under lights. That's the only exposure they get. If the team don't make it to that stage, it's just back to playing game under the regular lights. We see the introduction of another spinner from the Rahul Dravid end. It is Yashika K. Gowda. So spin is what is ruling the roost. We saw that in the first game, and so in the first innings when Mysore Warriors are operating with the ball.
It's almost a replica of the previous game where you saw Khushi Surikant bowling, right? She's a similar young bowler, Yashika Gowda from Mysore proper, and she's a batter who bowls leg spin also. Nice to see her being used over here. So Yashika is still under 15 and has a long way to go. She's a fantastic experience at this age. I remember last year that she was brought in as a replacement player for an injured player. She utilized the opportunities well, and here the team is showing a lot of confidence in her, letting her bowl and bat.
Using her feet this time around and hoisting it high and over the long on fielder. Just a mere spectator there. Divya dancing down the pitch, taking the ball on the full, and that's a cycle to Agarbatti sixer. The first one for Divya.
A big learning for Yashika. She'll learn with this. She's bowling to a very, very seasoned batter. Probably has 10 years on her. 10 years older, that is, than her. Yashika is one of the most persevering persons in Karnataka. She practices virtually all the time she can. Here, as we see this ball.
True bowling to the best in the business. There's no better place for you to get better and test your skills. You can do this a number of times in net situations or simulations per se, but what you do in the middle in the real game time is what matters. Single to end the over. Over number 14 done. 116 for 2. Hubli Tigers. Projector scores at this current run rate shows 166. Certainly that's not what Hubli Tigers would be gunning for. 6 overs to go. Maybe they would spend more time in the next couple of overs and get down to the business. And the last 4 overs is where they'll go hell for broke. And, Sahana Pawar comes back for a third spell. She's bowled 1 over each from the Rahul Dravid end and 1 from the Pavilion end. She comes back for a third over. Can she put some breaks? Left-hander against 2 right-hand batters. Yes, we call once upon a time in the early 70s and mid 80s, it used to be when people made their debut against the West Indies, mighty West Indies as batters. We used to call it baptism by fire. So these youngsters, when they play against players of repute and experience, it's the same for them in this particular format.
It just reminded me of another phrase. They call it the fire in Babylon. That's how the West Indies, there's a huge story to that, you know, how the oppression which they faced allowed the West Indies to fire out those big bouncers, Charlie Griffith and all those guys, Wesley Hall. So a lot of talking to be done there some other time.
I mean, it's all about cricket, and we talk about different eras and how players have to stand up and perform against mighty opponents. Sahana Pawar has come across as a canny customer. She's using the width of the crease to good effect, and she's using the bowling arm. This was typically more than a round arm. In fact, what we used to see and relate with somebody like Kedar Jadhav, who used to bowl almost underarm, that's the sort of ball which he's delivering at an angle from wide of the crease, not giving any width to the batters. She knows she's up against 2 of the biggest hitters in Karnataka cricket. This time around, running backwards, certainly the bowler would have been disappointed. The fielder was interested. That would have been a big scalp of Nikki P. Is this the one they would certainly do at a later point in time?
Yes, I think that was definitely in its own way a setup. Here you see the batters attempting the typical 5th stump, 6th stump position to get that ball, change the field a bit, and unfortunately the catch goes down.
Once again, a similar type of shot, but this time around, you miss a hit is the call. Second time, lucky. She gets Sahana Pawar, the much awaited breakthrough they needed, and it comes in the wake of Nikki Prasad trying the same shot once too often. That's her undoing. They had to get a move on from here to look at a target of 160, 170, and that is her downfall. So we see walking across the stumps, exposing all the 3 stumps, the ball going with the arm and just clipping the leg stump. And happy Sahana Pawar. She's timed that execution to perfection. And there walks Nikki Prasad back for a useful contribution. That's the 3rd wicket down for Hubli Tigers. 120 for 3.
Also had WPL experience, so she's bringing all that in. When you talk to Sahana, you get the feeling she's a very humble person. She understands the faults, limitations and her strengths. And like I said, she calls herself this one-arm bowler, but she knows that that can be her strength also. She holds certain balls back, and you're just seeing a typical example of what happened just now with that dismissal.
Certainly she's carrying the sort of experience she shared in the RCB dressing room with the likes of Smriti Mandana and the foreign cricketers who had come in there. And she's putting that to use here. It's just not about gaining experience. Gaining experience is one part of it, but putting it at the right time in the right place is what makes it more different. And the next batter, again, we see Monica, a left-hander coming in. And she's another person who can use a long levers and hit the ball a long way. Up for another challenge is Sahana Pawar.
So Monica Patel, as you'll be aware, the left arm fast, has represented India. She moved on to Railways some years ago to get a better footing in the Indian team, which she did. She's come back to Karnataka, good old Karnataka, and she had a very big impact in last year's WPL. She was also promoted up the order, so both batting and bowling. So let's see what she can do today.
The celebration, she's just shot off somebody in the air. I love these celebrations. As long as it is not targeted towards the batters, we are more than happy to see different celebrations take place. Down the ground. Is it a missed chance? A tough one for the keeper. Sahana Pawar finishes off her third over with a wicket and kitty. 15 overs done, 121 for 3, Hubli Tigers.
Previous over, last ball, probably was a half chance. Change of voices here, as Srinath has definitely gone to have dinner for sure. But Diksha into her third over from the Rahul Dravid end. Cuts it, bats in the gap, boundary. Good beginning here for the 16th over. Wonderful timing from Monica.
Yep, this is the contest you want to see, an off spinner and a left-hand batter. And just to bring upon Monica Patel, you know, the kind of experience she has. Oh, beautifully cut there, and through that gap, piercing the point and cover region. So yeah, as I was saying earlier, just to bring up a little bit about Monica Patel, she made her debut against South Africa. And an experienced campaigner, an opportunity missed there, and they've taken a run off the overthrow. So yeah, Monica Patel, quite the experienced player, playing international cricket, playing in the WPL as well.
And also that dressing room experience that they were talking about. Shubha Satish shies at the stump, no backing up from the Mysore Warriors. There was no short cover fielder available. Slogged away, shot of that mid-wicket fielder. But yeah, that huge WPL experience. But during the inauguration in the evening, there was a very important line that Shanta ma'am was mentioning about. She says, yeah, all this is good. Maharani Trophy, WPL, everything is fine, good, but your aim should be to play Karnataka, India. That's what she said to all the players. That's exactly what they should be looking at. Of course, this is the stepping stone, but the biggest part, I should say, is playing for the state and the country. Totally. And the sky is the limit to reach for the stars. That's it. And never give it up. That's what she also mentioned. In her own style, though.
But I like this contest. I like seeing an off spinner and a left-hand batter.
Up in the air. Yeah, the contest is on. Oh, an extra cover. Well, reached the boundary ropes. Good effort there in the deep. But boundary here for Monica Patel. Her first one, nicely done in. Yeah, Shishira Gowda right there in the deep. Vice skipper of the Mysore Warriors did really well to reach, but couldn't pull the ball back in. But yeah, Diksha should be really appreciated the way that she bowled in to the left-hander, taking the ball away, turning the ball away, and that makes it even more tougher for Monica. Costly, but a very entertaining over. 16 gone, 132 for 3. Yashika Gowda into her second over from the Anil Kumble end. And she's got a backward of point, and that deep cover fielder will now move a little more squarer than straighter. And of course, there is long on and deep mid wicket. Oh, that kept low, but the ball will carry to the fielder at long on. Good running catch from Subha Satish. The captain will be really, really happy because it's Monica Patel who will have to walk back. That one kept really low, that ball. And also remember what she said while taking that catch. I will be there for you bowlers. Just get the ball to me. Good breakthrough again. Monica Patel will be disappointed. And the way Ashika bowled that ball, she was just behind the popping crease. And she had that extra bit of a length for the ball to travel. That's probably why that kept low. And Monica could not time it really well. And she was committed to the shot. She couldn't change the shot later. She just went through with it, but a lovely catch. Running in almost, what, 10 yards towards the left. Subha Satish. Much needed breakthrough. Maybe too tough. Yeah, they'll be looking at 170 as of now. We were talking 180, 190 when Vrinda was in. Silkin in at number 6 gets off the mark, first ball. I think now anywhere between 170 they'll be really celebrating at this moment.
Yeah, it's all down to Divya Nanananda. She will have to anchor the innings from here.
Yeah, this is exactly what I was mentioning. She bowled it from behind the popping crease. That kept really low. And that running catch, almost there you see, there, just behind the popping crease. And that's why the ball did not reach Monica at all. But wonderfully done. Subha Satish once again will save a boundary. Yeah, she's been everywhere here in the Chinnaswamy Stadium on the outfield. She's guarding every position. Deep mid wicket, long on, long off. Yeah, she's available.
You can't keep her out of the action. She's been an absolute asset for the Mysore Warriors. Skipper wants to be in the thick of it.
And she's done that in style. Slogged away. Chance again at deep square. Taken! Another one goes down. And Yashika Gowda will be mighty, mighty pleased because it's the big wicket of Divya Gnanananda. And Mysore Warriors are putting in breaks at the right time.
This is exactly what they wanted. Breakthrough of Divya. Brilliant catch. And as we can see again there, Naveen, she is not completing her action there.
Yeah, totally. Just not using the depth of the crease in the popping crease. But nevertheless, Divya, yeah, I think one too many shots early that the Hubli Tigers are trying to play in the death overs. Has to walk back. Divya, 135 for 5 now.
I mean, a wicket here, and the Hubli Tigers have been in all sorts. They've been struggling in the last couple of overs. Maybe getting to a 160 also seems like a bit of an ask.
How our storytelling changes, isn't it? When we were in the power play, we were talking 180, 190 even. And then somewhere in the middle, when Vrinda Dinesh got out just at the last ball before drinks in the 10th over, we said, okay, 160. And now we're talking what? 155? 160 now looks a little tough. But a very good catch again. They've been catching really well, Mysore Warriors, in the couple of overs. And she also had to move to her left quite a distance and also bowled it from wide of the crease, and now that also gives the bowler a little bit of a more air and momentum, but the batter can't time you well. That's up in the air again. Is there another chance? Yes, it is. A few fumble wobble and the stylish action of Shubha Satish. Another wicket goes down, and it is once again the captain Diksha. First ball has to walk back.
We have been the game.
That's also been bowled back of the hand as well, and look at this for a style. 1, 2, fumble, then 3, 4, 5. She's just enjoying. She's just enjoying this. And what's that? Back of the hand delivery. Yeah, there you go. And she's a leg spinner. The innovations that we were talking about, there comes out another innovation, because against a left-hander, leg spinners are generally vulnerable. But the back of the hand delivery allows Shubha Satish to catch that one and celebrate. What? We are in for a hat-trick or what?
Shubha Satish with a silken attempt in the field. I think 150 from here, 155 maybe from here.
Yeah, it does look tough, especially this over from Yashika Gowda. She's already backed 3 into her only second over, I should say, and she's already on a hat-trick now. Big delivery coming up. We haven't seen a hat-trick in the Maharani Trophy this season. Will this be the one? Oh, kept start. Really nicely timed, I should say, or probably just keeping the hat-trick ball away. 17 gone, 136 for 6. Brilliant over. Diksha will continue from the Rahul Dravid end into her last over. And for Shreya, who's walked in at number 8, they've got a deep square leg, deep mid wicket, and the long on. Rightfully so. Offie coming in. I think Hubli Tigers now need to get this in their thought process, that it's not 160 anymore, or say probably not 170, 150, 155, keep it to the last over and then try the maximum. Don't lose wickets here.
Yeah, of course, they'll have to reassess their plan when they come on to bowl. They've got a fair understanding of the wicket. They were able to make maximum use of that power play, but a couple of wickets falling, and you can see that can bring a lot of pressure back onto the batting side.
And especially Yashika Gowda, the way that she's bowled for the Mysore Warriors, phenomenal.
We were mentioning earlier that innovation in her bowling, something that I've been very, very impressed with, is not just the innovation in the bowling, but also the effort in the field.
And Shubha Satish's confidence that she's always made sure that Yashika Gowda gets that another chance. And now she's in the ring, probably for the first time, probably just after power play. I'm seeing her inside the 25-yard ring, Shubha Satish. She's there at short extra. And see what the wickets have done. It's completely dried out the runs. Forget the boundaries. It's 3 dot deliveries back to back, and this is dot ball pressure, what Diksha is trying to do. And also create that atmosphere of a wicket taking from the other end. Brilliant over. Just 3 runs coming off this. 18 gone. Yeah, 160 looks tough. 139 for 6. Let's look at what happened here for the wickets. That was the first one in the power play. They were going great guns, but then when Vrinda Dinesh just could not manage this one at the end of the 10th over, and this was unnecessary. She did get that drop chance, and then load and fire from the bowler was really good. And this one did kept really low for Monica Patel because she was bowling from the popping crease way behind, and this was Yashika Gowda's couple of wickets. Especially Divya Gnanananda, good catch there in the deep. And then back to back we had 2 wickets, and back we come in, back live for the 19th over. Sahana Pawar. Oh, you reckon Yashika Gowda will be bowling the 20th now? I thought she'll be bowling the 19th.
I think you want your highest wicket taker to bowl that last over to finish it off for the Mysore Warriors. Try and contain as many runs as they can. One thing we noticed in that replay there, we saw 4 catches taken by Shubha Satish. She's been outstanding in the field.
Yeah, like you were mentioning, she's there everywhere where the batters are trying to score boundaries, and she's not allowed them to. And that's where the Hubli Tigers are feeling the pinch. Oh, drag down. Oh, hang on. Is that a no ball? Oh, hang on. Yeah, it's a no ball because the second bounce was before the batting popping crease, and it will be a free hit. The umpire straight first thought of giving it a wide, then she looked at the square leg umpire, and the square leg umpire said no, it was a second bounce before the crease, and it's a no ball. First free hit maybe of the Maharani Trophy. That's utilized not to good perfection. Single only. It's that dot balls, isn't it, that they've played. Even on a free hit, they don't get that mindset to blast it away.
Yeah, and she's been keeping it quite tight. She's been keeping it in those areas, not making it easier for the batter to try and score those runs.
Exactly what you're trying to say. And then the ground fielding, that's also been very, very good from the Mysore Warriors. They haven't let go easy runs. And that's the very important department, I should say, of cricket, isn't it? You generally keep harping about the batting and the bowling.
And the other thing that I was impressed with was Sahana's celebration after her wicket. Innovative celebrations nowadays, isn't it?
Good innovation, I should say, because we've seen a lot of innovations that catch the eye of the match referee into the wrong books. But Sahana has a good innovative celebration. Oh, of loading and firing up in the air. What a good spell from her. 4 overs, 25. And she's picked up a wicket as well. Oh, hang on. I think there's another ball coming in. Of the no ball delivery. Extra ball. Now the over. And now the spell finishes. A good spell again. 26 runs only on a wicket. And that load and fire celebration was good. 19 gone. 145 for 6. And the last over, I guess it should be Yashika Gowda. So forget 160 now, as the Mysore Warriors saying to the Hubli Tigers. But what a match. The revenge game of the 2025 finals.
Absolutely. Mysore coming in all guns blazing. Looked like Hubli was taking it away from them in the initial phase of the game, but Mysore coming back strong. Those wickets in between have really pulled them back into this game.
And at the right time. Oh, that one turned a lot. That one did turn a lot, and it is Pooja. It's not Yashika Gowda. She had 2 overs, in fact, with her bowling spell, but yeah, 3 wickets. Beautiful spell, but yeah, now Pooja to finish off things.
Very interesting strategy here from Shubha Satish, bringing in Pooja rather than Yashika Gowda for the last over.
Drag shot, doesn't time it well, Silken. Yeah, we really wanted Yashika Gowda to probably come on in and apply those breaks, but nevertheless, Shubha, she's thinking that yeah, it's fine. She's done her bit. Probably save a few energy as well to the batting. That'll probably might be needed. But that's logged away beautifully well. Nobody at long off. One bounce, boundary. Wonderful lofted drive from Shreya. Much needed here for the Hubli Tigers.
Yeah, Pooja tossing it up there. And the batter quick onto it. Clears mid-off and another Kalyani Motors boundary.
And they reach that 150 mark. Another 10 runs. And they'll be really delighted. But they'll be disappointed for sure. For the start that they got, they should have actually got 170 easily. At least 165, if not 170. But they'll be disappointed.
Yeah, they'll be looking for a couple of boundaries here to try and get to that 160 par score. It's not going to be too easy for the Mysore Warriors either when they come out to bat.
All right, there is some dew. There is some dew already in the Chinnaswamy Stadium. Yeah, the lights, under the lights, and of course it's bound to happen at 8:15, 8:10 in the night. I'll be very honest with this one. More than the Hubli Tigers' disappointment, it is the Mysore Warriors who've dragged this match down under their control, isn't it, with the ground fielding?
Fielding has been exceptional, especially with the catches and some of the stops at the boundaries. They've saved a lot of runs and restricted Hubli from scoring maybe 170 to 153. And amazing to see that. Pooja with the last ball.
Big shot attempted, but doesn't go anywhere near the ropes. Single only they'll have to be happy with, as the umpire wants to check if the last one was a run out. Yeah, maybe Shreya just turning for the second run. Silken wasn't interested. So it's not 160. It's either 155 to chase or 154 to chase. We'll have to confirm that with the run out. But yeah, like I said, the Hubli Tigers will be really disappointed with the way that they could not score 170 or 165. What's it like? The umpire's in the frame. Looks tough. Looks really tough for the batter.
She may have dislodged the bails there before the batter has gotten into the crease.
I think the umpire was in the best sight to watch that one. Nevertheless, we'll have to take that into consideration, that he wants to take the advantage of the technology as well.
Yeah, but Hubli Tigers now have a task up ahead. They have to reassess their plan coming into the second innings. What kind of a strategy will they apply? Will they go for the spinners early on? Will they go for the fast bowlers early on? There is a bit of dew. What do you think would be their strategy when they come on in the second innings?
There should be wickets for sure, because this is not a winning total that they have put up on the board as of now. I'm still checking the run out. I'll tell you what, even if it's a run out, it's going to be just one run. So it's 154. So I think they'll be chasing 155, because it's not a second run that was completed and the attempt. Yeah, it's 154. Whether the run out would have happened or no is secondary, but this is how the innings did pan out really well. So they have given that as not out. So it's going to be 155 that they'll be chasing in. But they started really well, the Hubli Tigers, no doubt, with the way Vrunda Dinesh and Nikki P got along. But then after that, it was all Mysuru with their fielding efforts. With, of course, Yashika Gowda coming in, picking up that 3 wickets. And in 1 over, she picked up 2 wickets back to back. That was something that really pulled the Hubli Tigers down. They were really poised. They were set to cruise along to 170.
Yeah, not to mention the small cameo from Divya Nanananda. But the fielding has been absolutely exceptional. Shubha Satish has taken almost every catch in this game.
The captain leading from the front on the field as well, and rotating her bowlers to the right direction. And this was Sahana's beautiful celebration. But yeah, there were a few cameos, like you mentioned. Even Monica tried to do something with the bat, but then this ball staying low, and then Yashika Gowda picking up the back-to-back wickets, just keeping the Mysore Warriors always nose front. Just that one boundary in the last over. So like we said, 155 for the Mysore Warriors to get, and we'll resume soon with the second innings.
Maharani Trophy. Trophy.
ನಮ್ಮ ಉತ್ಸಾಹಕ್ಕೆಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಉಲ್ಲಾಸ ಮಹಾರಾಣಿ ಟ್ರೋಫಿ ಆಚರಿಸುತ್ತ ಆಡುವ ಕರುನಾಡೆಲ್ಲ ಈ ಉತ್ಸವ ಆಚರಿಸುತ್ತ ಆಡುವ ಕರುನಾಡೆಲ್ಲ ಈ ಉತ್ಸವ ಕುಡಿಯಾಡಿ ಜಗವ ಗೆಲ್ಲೋಣ ಮಹಾರಾಣಿ ಟ್ರೋಫಿ ಗೆಲ್ಲೋಣ ಮಹಾರಾಣಿ ಟ್ರೋಫಿ ಲೋಕ ದಂಗಾಗೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಸೇರಿ ಸಾಗೋಣ ಹೀಗೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಉಲ್ಲಾಸಕ್ಕೆಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಉತ್ಸಾಹಕ್ಕೆಂದು ಮಿತಿಯಿಲ್ಲ ಆಚರಿಸುತ್ತ ಆಡುವ ಕರುನಾಡೆಲ್ಲ ಈ ಉತ್ಸವ ಕುಡಿಯಾಡಿ ಜಗವ ಗೆಲ್ಲೋಣ ಮಹಾರಾಣಿ ಟ್ರೋಫಿ ಗೆಲ್ಲೋಣ ಮಹಾರಾಣಿ ಟ್ರೋಫಿ
Maharani Trophy.
ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲೂ ಕ್ರಿಕೆಟ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಕನಸಲ್ಲೂ ಮಹಾರಾಣಿ ಟ್ರೋಫಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಉತ್ಸಾಹಕ್ಕೆಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಉಲ್ಲಾಸ ಮಹಾರಾಣಿ ಟ್ರೋಫಿ ಆಚರಿಸುತ್ತ ಆಡುವ ಕರುನಾಡೆಲ್ಲ ಈ ಉತ್ಸವ ಆಚರಿಸುತ್ತ ಆಡುವ ಕರುನಾಡೆಲ್ಲ ಈ ಉತ್ಸವ ಕುಡಿಯಾಡಿ ಜಗವ ಗೆಲ್ಲೋಣ ಮಹಾರಾಣಿ ಟ್ರೋಫಿ ಗೆಲ್ಲೋಣ ಮಹಾರಾಣಿ ಟ್ರೋಫಿ ಲೋಕ ದಂಗಾಗೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಸೇರಿ ಸಾಗೋಣ ಹೀಗೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಉಲ್ಲಾಸಕ್ಕೆಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಉತ್ಸಾಹಕ್ಕೆಂದು ಮಿತಿಯಿಲ್ಲ ಆಚರಿಸುತ್ತ ಆಡುವ ಕರುನಾಡೆಲ್ಲ ಈ ಉತ್ಸವ ಕುಡಿಯಾಡಿ ಜಗವ ಗೆಲ್ಲೋಣ ಮಹಾರಾಣಿ ಟ್ರೋಫಿ ಗೆಲ್ಲೋಣ ಮಹಾರಾಣಿ ಟ್ರೋಫಿ
Maharani Trophy.
Welcome back for the very important chase here for the Mysore Warriors. Remember, this is the revenge match of the 2025 Maharani Trophy finals that happened in Aluru. Hubli Tigers, of course, went ahead and won that one, became the champions of 2025. And this is going to be skipper versus skipper. Vrinda Dinesh with the ball, Subha Satish with the bat. And what else do you need for a good contest? 155 to get. And more importantly, Vrinda will be trying to pull things down very, very sharply right from the third go. I'm now sure you're alongside with me is Param. Param 155 on the board. I think they would have had a confident team dugout meeting, Mysore Warriors.
Yeah, absolutely. They would have been quite happy towards the end of that first innings, getting those wickets towards the latter half of the innings. And this is going to be a very good contest. Vrinda Dinesh versus Shubha Satish, an off spinner bowling to a left-hander.
And even then, she's got deep mid-wicket and long on and peppering that offside ring, 25 yards with backward of point, covers, short extra and mid-off with a slip in place. A good contest, very good contest on cards. And it is not daunting, but it is not easy as well, this 155 that has been put up on the board. Because what happens is generally this is like that, you know, tricky total where you feel that you will get it, but then suddenly there is multiple wickets falling at the wrong time for your chase, and you derail your plans completely. Right, first ball, Vrinda around the stumps for Shubha. Cut away, straight to backward of point. Powerful start.
Yes, of course, Mysore would be happy at the end of the first innings, but they still have a task at hand. It's not going to be an easy chase, especially getting to that 155. It's going to be a very, very challenging power play.
Oh, that was quick. Really well played from Shubha, though. She wanted a single, but has been sent back by Sheetal. Sheetal was not ready. There was a single. Shubha is like, hey, my friend, there was one. She's still discussing about that.
Yes, there was a single there. Unfortunate that Sheetal had to send her back. But very, very good start here from Vrinda.
And more importantly, Shubha will be very wary of that total in her mind. As I was mentioning, that is that 155, that tricky total. Not par, not too very below par as well. Just around the corner. Width, but straight to point. Just middling the ball well. Doesn't find the gap on the second occasion.
Yeah, they've packed that field on the offside. Looks good. They've kept only one fielder deep mid-wicket and one long on. Vrinda Dinesh, she knows what she's doing. Now, interesting here, they've sent the fielder back. They have a deep cover now, and the long on comes up.
And also the slip's been moved. Oh, fired it completely into it. Wonderful ball from Vrinda. 5 dot deliveries.
Yeah, pressure back on Shubha Satish. She needs to get off strike. She needs to build that confidence, start rotating that strike.
Through the gap. And boundary. First one for Subha Satish and first one for Mysore Warriors. A bit of an anti-climax, hands on hips from Vrinda Dinesh. The skipper's not happy with the field. Should have been a maiden over, but this should have been stopped. It's a straight through.
Yeah, beautifully cut. That should have been stopped. Good effort there in the deep, but the ball winning that race.
First over gone for no loss. Should be disappointed Vrinda Dinesh with that one, because remember the Mysore Warriors came into the match via their fielding and catching. And only Hubli Tigers, if they can really understand that ploy. But Monica Patel, she also tried her best with the bat. She got that lower half, lower bounce when she was batting. Now what she's got is she's She's got a short fine. She's got deep third and deep square leg. Two fielders outside. Mid on, mid off up in the ring for Monica Patel. So left armour going over the wicket. Will be interesting to see if she can really jack that ball back into Sheetal. That's something that any right-hander will not be expecting. Oh! Right. Param, you also bowled left arm quick. I think that jagging back in. First ball, she started well. Yeah, that run up. Yeah, that exactly is what the replica of that, like I said, mid on, mid off, up in the ring. And especially with that length, that's very, very crucial now from Monica Patel. Yeah, brilliant. See, that is jagging back in. That's really well bowled in. And also not trying to give too much room.
No room at all. This is crucial for Hubli Tigers. Keeping it tight, keeping those lengths. Very important to build that pressure. That boundary in the first over, which should have been stopped.
Yeah, true. That action that we were talking of. Side bottom action. Ran side bottom. Yeah, so similar, isn't it? Easy, nice run up to the popping crease. Cut away. That's in the gap. Boundary. Sheetal gets off the mark with that one. Her first boundary.
Yeah, we were talking about the length earlier. This one, little bit short and wide. And Sheetal was quick onto that. And a Kalyani Motors boundary.
Also that extra bit of a margin of the width that was on offer. That's all. You see, jumping on the back foot, keeping the ball down, using the wrists to good effect. Just a hint of width, half a centimeter of width. Inside edge, clear inside edge. Easy one for the umpire. Monica's not happy, she's pumped up.
Yeah, she's bowling those lines and lengths that a left armour would bowl to a right-hander, bringing it into the right-hander. That's something that everybody's so excited to see. A little bit of movement. There is a bit of dew, but how much of that is going to come into play?
I would have wanted that deep third to be behind instead of a deep fine. Oh, was probably pitching down the leg side. Umpire says no, probably was not hitting in line of the stumps. Yeah, there you see, clearly indicating it to Monica, saying it was pitching clearly down the leg side.
Another good delivery there. Yes, slightly just drifting down the leg. But Monica Patel, beautiful lengths here.
Just a couple of boundaries that the Mysore Warriors have got. One in the previous over, one in this over. Another big inside edge. Very good over apart from that boundary ball. 2 overs gone, 8 for no loss. Should be Vrinda Dinesh to continue against Shubha. Now what is also happening is, with Sheetal and Shubha, they've done the classical old mistake of allowing the batter or allowing the bowler to bowl to the same batter. They haven't rotated strike at all in the 12 deliveries that they've played. So some variation needs to happen because it's easier for Rameshwari Gaikwad, who's coming into the attack from the Anil Kumble end, again an off spinner, to bowl against a left-hander. And there is a slip in place now. Sweeps it, huge appeal, but that's probably off the bat, clearly off the bat.
Yeah. Change in bowling. Rameshwari Gaikwad, sister of Rajeshwari Gaikwad, and another experienced campaigner. She has been quite involved in the circuits of domestic cricket.
Now she gets that one through, Shubha, and she will get that boundary. Wonderful timing at deep square leg. Well, well, well.
Yeah, swept and swept well through that square leg region. But still no change in the field. They're sticking to the same field except for the fact that the slip now goes back to third, short third.
Very important that they do rotate strike, isn't it? Because Subha Satish and Sheetal, they've allowed the bowlers to bowl to them consecutively for 6 deliveries. Yeah, Rameshwari Gaikwad. Imagine if she would have also been picked by the Gulbarga Mystics. It would have been really nice with the sister duo going in. I think probably the Karnataka setup, as you've seen, I think it's one of the rarest combo with sister duo setup.
Yes, it's pretty rare. I mean, not too many states where there are siblings who are playing together. But of course, we have the Gaikwad sisters here playing the Maharani Trophy. And always great to see some experienced campaigners, big names, playing with these up-and-coming young superstars of the future.
Yeah, that's a good term that you used. And now they rotate strike for the first time. Sheetal. Also, Rameshwari Gaikwad, being the younger sister, will probably be waiting for that match against Gulbarga Mystics, isn't it? Hubli Tigers versus Gulbarga Mystics. Maybe they do play tomorrow.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting contest. Sister versus sister. Sure, be very, very exciting to see. Rotation of the strike. Intelligent cricket here.
Good over. Good beginning. Only 6 of it. 3 overs gone. 14 for no loss. Monica Patel will continue from the Rahul Dravid end. Again, no deep third fielder. Again, they have that short third. And that actually ties down a big option for Monica Patel to try and pitch the ball up, try and invite the batter to drive and probably try and have that edge, because Hubli Tigers need wickets. This is not a wicket-taking field for me. It is a boundary-saving field or a run-saving field. There's nobody catching in close. Probably bring that fine leg up in the ring, have that slip or have that deep third more squarer. That'll probably create another chance. Has to hurry. Direct hit! Is that what it is for the Hubli Tigers? They're celebrating. They know that it's too close. Sheetal, is she in trouble? Wonderful direct hit that came in from Vrinda Dinesh.
Absolute gun throw there from Vrinda Dinesh. They're very confident that Sheetal is dismissed. And confirmation. Vrinda Dinesh with the run out. And Hubli Tigers strike with their first wicket.
Yeah, very clear, very clear. She just has entered the frame, isn't it? Vrinda probably had all 3 stumps to aim at. And I was mentioning about that wicket-taking delivery, not with the attacking field set, but with the run-out, they do get their first scalp. The Mysore Warriors, they'll be happy. In fact, the Hubli Tigers will be celebrating as of now in terms of that run-out. Sheetal, she was struggling the moment that she hit it. And for Shubha Satish, she's got on strike for the first time against Monica Patel now.
Monica Patel bowling to Shubha Satish for the first time in this game. Another interesting contest here. Both senior campaigners. Monica Patel, of course, making her debut against South Africa when she was in the national side. Very, very senior in terms of what they bring to the table.
All right, that's on check back then. Gone! Monica Patel with the celebration. Well, 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 Yashika. First delivery. And probably it was Shubha Satish, the striker end. Yeah, it is. Shubha Satish has to walk back disappointingly. What a great delivery.
Yeah, just coming back in at the last second there. Monica Patel blowing a kiss and talking about another innovative celebration. Beautiful delivery, and Hubli Tigers strike again. Mysore Warriors in trouble, 14 for 2.
Shubha did not want to leave the crease at all, isn't it? She was just shell-shocked inside the crease. That one just jack-packed in so well. Very unhappy for sure, Shubha. It's a peach of a delivery. For any top-order batter, that is a nightmare to face that one. Left armour, first time she was facing her in this match. And she's created a big, big dent in the hopes of the Mysore Warriors' run chase.
Absolutely. Monica Patel bowling an absolute peach in that last dismissal there. 2 back-to-back wickets. One was the run out. The second one bowled Shubha Satish. Monica Patel. Still interesting to see no slip after the 2 new batters have come in.
Oh, that one was asking for the slip cordon, isn't it? Advika in at number 4. Immediately trying to see where the slips are. I think Vrinda Dinesh is not thinking on those terms. Should be Monica to ask for her skipper saying, hey Caps, can I have that slip there? Just for the few deliveries for the new batter.
I mean, as a left-arm bowler myself, I would like to see a slip fielder there, if not someone in the gully. But nonetheless, Vrinda Dinesh must be having a plan.
That's probably the plan. She's got the gully to just save that single. You know, yeah. As I was mentioning even in the previous over, you need to have that slip. So when you have that slip, what happens is you can have that third fielder a little more squarer. Now that short third drops back, but this was a delivery that no top order batter wants to face. And that celebration to the dugout, yeah, saying that I've got the big, big fish. The skipper of the Mysore Warriors. Round now for the right hand. Oh, that one also moved a lot. What a fabulous over from Monica Patel. A wicket maiden. 4 overs, 14 for 2. Mysore Warriors. They have started to have that trouble with the big capital T in front. Also, if you remember that Shubha Satish's dismissal is probably stuck in the crease. She did not move at all. We'll probably have to see that one once again from a side angle view where she was just stuck in the crease because the ball did so much.
She was expecting the ball to go away, and the last moment coming in, she was also a bit shell-shocked. Vrinda Dinesh to continue.
Fuller in length, going down the leg. She did take that 1 over break, but she's again bowling from the same end.
Yeah, I think the plan is for Rameshwari Gaikwad to maybe come in from the Rahul Dravid end. They want to try and utilize both off spinners in the power play.
Yeah, but if you are a Hubli Tigers fan, you will not want to take the ball away from Monica Patel at this moment.
Absolutely not. In fact, I want to get 2 slips now when Monica Patel comes on to bowl.
Should be what Vrinda Dinesh is listening to us should be thinking like what we are trying to tell her, because yeah, it's even more important because it's just 155. Now that 155 will suddenly look like 170 because of the two big wickets, and especially Shubha Satish's wicket. Slapped away. That goes through point. Welcome boundary here for Yashika and Mysore Warriors. Kalyani Motors boundary number 1 for Yashika.
Yeah, poor effort there from the fielder at point. And cut away beautifully. What Vrinda Dinesh would also be looking to do is try and add another fielder on the offside rather than packing two fielders there on the leg.
Oh yes, maybe, but they've appealed for LBW first, but Cat got behind second, but no stumping on the third. Everything has been asked. The umpire has not responded to either of the three. First it was brushing the pads. A good take for sure, yes, behind the stumps. And then appeal on the stumping. Nothing there.
Very quiet rate gone up to 9.03. And this is not going to be easy for the Mysore Warriors. They have quite a climb ahead of them.
A big mountain to climb. 5 overs, 18 for 2. It's struggling times for Mysore Warriors.
Change in the commentary box as we have myself, Vikram, and Srinath to take you through the rest, some of the overs. Rameshwari Gaikwad, as my commentators pointed out to you earlier, is to utilize her off-spin skills.
Thanks, Vikram. And it's been a slow start for the Mysore Warriors, chasing a target of 155. 18 for 2. Loss of 2 wickets in the power play. 5 more balls left in the power play. Just put them on the back foot. And spin and spin. The more of spin we're going to see. But a revelation has been Monika Patel. First time up, we are seeing a left arm fast bowler, the second game of this Maharani Trophy, with not only good lines and lengths, but the speeds with which she's operating.
Yeah, actually I was a little disappointed to see Sheetal Santosh get out the way she did. She's quite a revelation in the junior leagues. Got a double 100, 220 or 30 or something like that in a 30-over game for the under-15s. Has represented the state in the under-15s last year also. She is the next big thing here in batting and wicket keep. She's also wicket keeper. So young Yashika gets a go, and so does Advika, who last year opened the innings for the Shivamogga Lionesses.
What it shows is the difference in the quality of cricket. So when they play in the leagues and get the performances going and get onto a platform like the Maharani Trophy, it's about competing with the best in the business. 104 people are going under the hammer. End of it, you've got 18 into 4, 72 picked. So the best 72 are playing in this franchisee leagues, and mix of cricketers from the 15, 19, 23s and the people who are representing Karnataka and the senior team. And of course, it's got a lot of players who've represented the country, the India A, and quite a few of them part of franchisee cricket. I think that's where the difference comes in. And obviously, it's a huge learning curve for them to rub shoulders with these who shows who in Karnataka cricket. Maiden over in power play. First maiden over in this Maharani Trophy. Over number 6 comes to an end. Power play done. 18 for 2, Mysore Warriors. Madam, you're like a, Crickepedia with regard to women cricket. Sort of numbers you're reeling off, and the mention of who's got hundreds in what leagues and what age group they are playing. I mean, credit for the sort of work you've done, and I know that you're associated closely with women cricket. You do a lot of coaching because today there's so much of cricket happening around the world. It's difficult to keep a tab on what's happening in men's cricket, despite that you keeping a tab on these girls and women cricketers. Hats off. I think you should be throwing more light on more promising cricketers whom the viewers need to have a look at in this particular tournament. The names are always going to be names. That's not no rocket science for people who are going to watch that.
Well, Priya Chavan's in. Yeah, actually, there's a lot of work to be done in women's cricket, and it's always good to have a few extra hands. They need some focus. So just coming back to, this year, what the committee has done, the new committee in the KSCA, they've encouraged a lot more women's cricket with multiple games and multiple formats in the inter-clubs matches.
Well, the result of it is we've seen some real quality cricket, especially per se in terms of fielding and catching. That's been a revelation in the two games that we've been a witness to today. Normally, fielding standards and the fitness in terms of women's cricket and power hitting are the areas which really need to be worked upon, and of course fast bowling. But in that count, I think these girls have shown tremendous agility and their awareness, game awareness in terms of boundary fielding and boundary catching also.
I think some of this has to do with the trend of the consistent long camps that the KSC has had for the under-19 women. One of the results was last year that they won the T20 very effortlessly, and they didn't do too badly in the under-23 either this year, the season gone by, where they finished as finalists. They came very close to the 50-over trophy also. So that's the kind of work the KSC has put in.
Absolutely, the results speak for the sort of background work that has gone into it, what we call as grassroots level cricket. Under 15 was an unknown entity in terms of cricket in different states. When BCCI came up with the under 15 concept, then the states opened up and they decided that they had to have cricket in that particular age group. I think pioneers, as we are always, Karnataka took the lead. That's down the ground. Will it clear the mid off? Oh, one more drop chance. Divya. That certainly should have been taken with the sort of experience she has. A length ball was there to be hit over the top, but skewed it with the bottom. Didn't judge it. In fact, it was just about 5 or 6 yards over her. Tough catches when you turn around, but nevertheless, chance drop.
Just before we come back to the structure the KSC has put in place and the impetus it's giving to women's cricket, would you say that now coming to how the Hubli Tigers have gone about their bowling, we saw consistent changes in the bowling even after Vrinda almost bowled that maiden. It should have been a maiden first over, which I think shifted the scales entirely in Mysore's, in Hubli's favor at that stage. I think that changed things a lot.
T20 cricket is all about thinking on your feet, and many a times decisions have to be taken on the spot, and we call it out-of-the-box thinking. She didn't even get a hand onto that ball. Somebody with experience she's had with state cricket, Divya, definitely the effort would not go down well with the Hubli Tigers. Streaky shot, intent was on, but nevertheless, welcome runs for the Mysore Warriors. Welcome Kalyani Motors boundary, though not in the direction intended, but finishes off the over with a boundary. 7 overs done, Mysore Warriors, 25 for the loss of 2 wickets.
Just coming back to that point on Vrinda's first over, you saw a change of bowler again. So is it now becoming a a staple in the game to want to change your bowler every over just to destroy the batter's rhythm because, like you said earlier, these players know each other fairly well, right? So how about that as a tactic?
Generally, it starts off at the top level. It could be national teams coming into franchisee cricket. The bowlers are not allowed to settle down and bowl to a particular batter for a long period of time, especially in this format of the game. And that actually is a formula. Square cut. Welcome to the bowling crease. Saina Kapoor picks the gap brilliantly on top of the ball. Wrist work to good use. First ball boundary puts the pressure straight away back on the bowler.
It's probably the first time some of us, some of you are seeing Saina Kapoor. Like you mentioned the under 15. Let's take a look. And that's cut away over there for a boundary. Unfortunately, not a great way to start. So the changeover from the BCCI under 16 format of the girls to the under 15. The first year that Karnataka participated, all teams participated, Saina was part of that squad also in 2023.
So it's more or less more of these girls have come up through the structured grooming in terms of maybe school cricket is something that down the line we would start looking at. Encourage more schools to have the girls participate in age group tournaments.
It was part of the manifesto. It was what was suggested just 2 seasons ago, but you really have to look at the numbers. There aren't enough right now, but I see a very positive communication from the KSCA. No matter which committee comes in, they're trying to further the women's game. Someday it will happen in the schools.
No, it has to when you need to look at expanding the pool of players for this Maharani Trophy. I think you need to get more players from the grassroots level, that school and colleges. It's just not about the PTR wherein a lot of schools participate and most of the teams which are divided into 3 groups actually, Division 1, 2 and 3. The quality of cricket is more important rather than quantifying the game. So even if it's going to be 6, 8, 10 schools to start with, that's going to be in the right direction. And certainly KSCA would make all efforts to reach out to the schools to start with, maybe get 6, maybe 12, get them going in the age group of 15, then spread it slowly to colleges. Wherein that's where, you know, they graduate from 15 to 19. And after 19, it's going to be open cricket. The girls are good enough to participate in different leagues. Back to where we left off regarding the structure of cricket at grassroots level. I think this particular committee which is coming under the leadership of Venkatesh Prasad, they've gotten the likes of our legends of Karnataka and Indian cricket, Shanta Rangaswamy, Kalpana, who've worked tirelessly day in and day out to ensure that women cricket is put on the right path. And a testimony to all their efforts is what we are seeing today in the iconic M. Chinnaswamy Stadium. So this is the sort of platform that they've provided for the girls in Karnataka to compete with the best under lights. Spin, spin and spin. Nikki Prasad, the World Cup India under-19 winning captain. She's been a revelation. The sort of confidence she's shown as a batter would certainly rub off with what she's going to do with the ball. This is the sort of confidence these cricketers are getting through such platforms.
Let's cut away, just backward of point, going for a boundary. That is where the Mysore Warriors are showing they can do something, going to take the fight to the Hubli Tigers. But I'm sure there's a bit of fight in the Tigers also. They're always strategizing from what I can see.
Delicate touch, just a bit of width and late. And the latest cut actually, she cut the ball off the keeper's gloves. No chance once the ball beats the inner field. Value for shots on this carpeted outfield. They need more of such to get the run rate going. Clever stuff. She's just keeping it on around the off stump. 4 within the ring on the offside. Just the sweeper cover. Three boundary riders on the leg side, ensuring that she goes across the line and tries to hit into the leg side.
And that's going to the fielder at the deep cover fence. Nothing but a single. Yes, so a good chance for Advika to show her might here. She's been trying to push into the higher echelons of cricket. She's made it to the probables. Yashika Gowda opposite her has played for the Karnataka Under-15s and is expected to deliver this year.
Just over the middle fielder. She was interested for some time. Length ball picks it up beautifully. Full swing of the hands. Value for shots. Second boundary in this over. Nikki Prasad proving a touch expensive.
Yes, you're right. Very well picked up. Yashika, who likes that shot. She's really an all-hands player from what we've seen and developing a game in all aspects also. So a little bit of the mature Yashika being seen here this year.
Pretty expensive over from Nikki Prasad, giving away two boundaries in that over. A late cut, deft touch on one, and then down the ground over mid-off. Two classical cricketing shots. Ten runs of a first over. They're chasing a target of 155. We are into the 10th over. What we call as the halfway mark. They are lagging way behind in terms of the current net run rate.
And that's a catch taken at mid-off. Saina Kapoor has struck success. Down goes Advika. Little despondent over there, but she has to go but make the long walk back.
Well, flighter delivery, trying to pick it over mid-on, leading edge, diving to her right. Rameshwari Gaikwad plucks something from thin air. Outstanding fielding effort. Dot ball pressure increasing, and Advika, 10 of 17, forces her to play that shot. Wicket in time for Saina Kapoor. 42 for the loss of 3 wickets. The third wicket in the wake of Advika. A timely breakthrough for the Hubli Tigers. Just can you throw some more light on that, Vikram, when you say remodel the game? In what terms? Because when people are watching this game, they need to understand as to what they basically work on to make that comeback.
Well, just going to Vrinda, for example, she's worked extensively on developing stroke play by moving to the fifth stump, and changing the field. So she wants that fine leg fielder to go to cover, or the cover fielder, the extra cover fielder to come to fine leg. She works the field that way. Shishira, on her part, has developed a different range of strokes on her back foot. And we're probably seeing a little bit of that coming through now. And she's spoken about taking time off from matches just to focus, in a kind of block practice sense and make those reflexes of hers better.
Don't you think a game situation like this would provide you a better info as to what you're up to, rather than hitting those many number of balls, taking your time away from a game? I mean, I would relate it to something in studies. Somebody doesn't get good numbers to qualify through NEET. He or she says that I'm going to take a 12-month break, come back and write that exam again. For me, always I feel that, the more time you lose out, to make a strong comeback and to compete with somebody who's in form always becomes that much tougher.
So just on that topic, Shishira, what I know about her is that she plays a lot of matches. She's always very eager, but she strikes the right balance. And I do understand that she's taken some time off in certain phases, like 2-3 weeks, to work on some certain things. And not play those matches which are obviously just practice and good competitive practice friendly matches. So she strikes a very good balance. That's what I mean by remodeling. Everyone tries it their own way. Saina Kapoor, for that matter, has also remodeled her action from what she was 3 years ago, as that ball just goes past to the mid-off and the fielder returns it to the bowler. That's the end of the over. It's 45 for 3 after the 10th over.
When the going gets tough, the tough gets going is what they should really understand now for the Mysore Warriors. It's not easy out there. Hubli Tigers are making it look very, very tough for the Mysore Warriors, especially Shishira and Yashika. Of course, Shishira coming in at number 5. Yashika has been there for a longer time, but nothing too impactful in terms of the boundaries, because she's trying to steady the ship, steady the innings. Priya Chavan drifts one. I'm not even sure you're alongside with me is Param, but Param, like I said, this is going to be very, very nail-biting at the end of, say, what, 15 overs at least.
Yeah, with the required rate has gone up to 10.9, and definitely not going to be easy. They have a big task ahead of them, the Mysore Warriors.
Huge task. That's not timed pretty well. Fielder getting under it and takes it. Another wicket goes down. Vrunda Dinesh is elated and excited as well, because it is Yashika, who was there for a longer time, has to depart. Hubli Tigers get another wicket.
And they're all over the Mysore Warriors. Priya Chavan pitching it up. She didn't time that. And Vrunda Dinesh takes it comfortably.
Yeah, it was played away from her body as well. There was height, but no distance. Under the lights, Vrunda Dinesh as happy as she can be. They lose their 4th wicket now, 47 for 4, Mysore Warriors. Kusuma Gowda has walked in at number 6. Appeal, but the umpire just looks at the ball marker and says, yeah, another dot ball, that's all. Priya Chavan, another good delivery.
Yeah, dot balls creating pressure. Mysore Warriors need to come out of this. They need to get some boundaries, get that confidence back up, get out of that pressure, put the pressure back onto the bowlers.
Full toss. That's in the gap. Boundary. Much needed boundary here for Mysore Warriors. Rare error from Priya Chavan, and Kusuma just capitalizes on that one big time. Off the mark with the boundary.
Yeah, full toss delivery, and Kusuma's not going to miss on that. And Kalyani Motors boundary. This is what they need. A few more boundaries, and the run rate needs to come down.
With that boundary ball that she played, she did not try to hit the ball too hard. That was the key. She just pierced the gap between mid-off and short extra. Generally, you see that full toss ball, your eyes light up and you try to play a big shot. More often than not, you mistime it.
It's also the field placement. The mid-off is inside the circle. They don't have any protection in the deep.
Wide delivery. Yeah, they will want few of these as well. 50 up, but it's come rather at snail's pace. Now, you mentioned about mid-off and mid-on up in the ring. Nothing full is really permitted with that field, isn't it? Because she's got all the 4 fielders outside, on square, behind square. A huge appeal, but again going down the leg side. We'll have to wait for the umpire signal, probably of the pads. Yeah, leg buys to finish the 11th. 53 for 4 now, Mysore Warriors. Rameshwari Gaikwad, 2 overs 6 runs without a wicket. She's done really well. Drags that one down.
Yeah, she's kept it rather tight. 2 overs, 6 runs, not giving away too many runs. Containing, I think that's also very crucial. It's not always about taking the wickets, it's also about containing those runs.
And at the pressure, especially when a team is trying to chase down 155. See, they need almost 12 runs an over as of now. So yeah, dot ball at one end, and then you try to play a different shot at the other end. Mysore Warriors lost a wicket the previous over. That's in the gap. That's towards deep extra cover. Boundary. Kusuma gets her second one.
Yeah, Rameshwari Gaikwad, just a tinge short there, and Kusuma quick onto that, piercing that gap between extra cover and cover, and a Kalyani Motors boundary.
Bowled, gone. One too many shots attempted from Kusuma, and Rajeshwari Gaikwad gets the prize of some very, very tight and stingy bowling. Wonderful to see she get her name on the wickets column as well.
Yeah, she was going to play that against the turn, but not too quick on that. Quicker delivery from Rameshwari Gaikwad, and she gets that dismissal, gets the last laugh.
Good reply after the boundary ball, isn't it, from Rameshwari? Just trying to bowl that one flatter and quicker. Kusuma has to depart. 57 for 5 now, Mysore Warriors. Deep trouble. And probably that revenge game will stay as 2-0 up with the Hubli Tigers. The 2025 finals revenge game is what this was being pitted against as.
Yeah, at this moment they are deep in the ocean, swimming with the sharks out there. And looks very, very tough. But Rameshwari Gaikwad again, keeping it very tight, not giving away any room for that batter there.
Yeah, extra bounce. Yeah, swimming with the sharks with some heavy boots probably. Because the footwork did not come through at all from Kusuma in the previous delivery that she faced. It was a straight to ball and she missed it. A good over again from Rameshwari. 12 gone, 57 for 5. Shishira probably marking a middle stump guard because it's Monica Patel, left armour over the wicket. She has to take that guard. Mind you, Shubha Satish was stuck in her crease when that delivery jagged back in, cleaning the Midland leg stump of Shubha Satish. Monica Patel into her second spell now. Change of ends. It did come back in quite a bit. Turned it around. I feel, these change of ends should probably not be on the cards generally, because as a bowler you've got that one good rhythm that coming in. You've got that good couple of overs just for say 4 runs from the Rahul Dravid end. Why try and change ends now?
I think Vrinda has her plans in place. Wants to bring Monica from the Anil Kumble end. Maybe try and get the ball away now from the right-hander and bring the ball back into the left-hander. But 12 overs in, I think ball is starting to get a little old. As we see there, the ball again moving away from the right-hander.
Yeah, just angling it across. And there is nobody at deep backward of point for that sort of a delivery. And Diksha just tries to nudge one to third fielder. There is deep third fielder.
What I would also like to see from Monica Patel here is maybe a couple of variations, maybe a cutter or maybe a slower delivery.
She's probably thinking one way, angling it across. Yeah, see? As simple as that. Because, when you're at the peak of your rhythm, especially because you've bowled left armers, I've bowled right, but left hand bat. So what happens is when you're at the peak of the rhythm, on the top of your run-up, you're not thinking of a slow ball unless and until you've been, taken to the cleaners from the batter, isn't it? For all the boundaries and sixes. But there, you just want to run in against the wind or with the wind. Just go through with the delivery stride, try and put the maximum out. And I think even now, see, even for Shishira, she's going to go seam up. She's going to go into her. There, seam up again.
That one slightly moving away from the left-hander. The only reason why, coming back to my point, that maybe we can see some variations is that these two batters are new to the crease. They're not yet settled. Maybe try and change it up a little bit. Not make it too easy. They might be expecting that.
I would vote for a Yorker. Why not? Why try on a slow delivery or a back of the hand delivery? Going down. Now this end probably. See, it also matters a lot. You're just coming out of a break after a couple of deliveries, couple of overs. Just trying to get the rhythm right Yeah, of course, it's the same side of the ground, agreed, but you need to have that end sticking in. And now see for the right-hander, she's changed angles and she's gotten around the wicket now. And there is that shot fine. If Diksha wants to innovate, she can just scoop it away behind fine leg. Can she do that? Chance was there.
And not too much protection behind there.
Yeah, even nothing behind square leg. End of the 13th, 61 for 5.
Nikki Prasad now coming in for her second over. She was slightly expensive in her first, giving away 10 runs.
And probably Nikki Prasad has got that change of ends, isn't it? So that is where I think Monica Patel was being asked to bowl from the Anil Kumble end to bring in Nikki from the other end. Just trying to give her a change, a variation. Nicely driven away, but straight to the fielder at deep covers. They will come back for a second run. Convert those ones into twos. Try and keep the attack going. Don't let the weapons down. That's what they should be telling themselves now, Mysore Warriors.
Yeah, excellent running there between the wickets. I think Nikki Prasad also came on to bowl now because the left-hander is on strike. They want to get that contest in.
Should be a good contest. You know, with the asking rate hovering around almost 13 runs an over now. So you will need at least a couple of boundaries every over. So try and bring in that slower bowler. Try and bring in those off-cutters against the left-hander. Try and make it even more tougher. Exactly 14 runs an over needed. And for the right-hander, they do have that long on and long off and deep mid-wicket. So boundary is protected even at deep square leg. So no problem. This is not enough.
In fact, they'll need more than a couple of boundaries, a couple of maximums there as well.
Now, I'll tell you what. Since this is a 4-team tournament and the top two do get qualified, they'll have to now think not 90 runs. I know I'm throwing in the towel as of now, but they should probably thinking 45, 50 runs from here on in at least. Oh, good drive. Wonderfully driven towards deep extra cover. Boundary. Shishira, yeah, she can score boundaries. And this is a much needed one for the Mysore Warriors.
Yeah, just a shimmy down the track and clearing that cover fielder. Vrinda Dinesh standing at cover. Great attempt there, but Kalyani Motors boundary.
And the reason why I'm saying think 50 runs from here on in is to save your net run rate. Good drive again, beats the fielder at long off. 2 back-to-back boundaries. And Shishira, and like I said, she's not letting her guard down. 14 gone, 73 for 5. So 82 of the last 6 overs, with only half of the side remaining in the dugout to come out and bat. And Vrinda and co will be putting in a lot of pressure. So I'm just trying to say, take say 50 runs from here on in, 50, 60 runs. Don't try and lose by a bigger margin of what the Gulbarga Mystics did in the afternoon. They lost by 47 runs. That's a big margin. Yeah, you're losing out 2 points, and along with that, your net run rate is also looking down the hill, nose diving down in the minus.
Yes, that's going to be very crucial. The net run rate, especially towards the business end of the tournament, those will matter towards the end, and securing those points, try and be able to get that Q next to your name.
And also remember, if there is some rain around, and God forbid if there is any match that will be called off or washed off, you'll share points, and then that net run rate becomes even more crucial. That's exactly what happened in the Maharaja Trophy to the Hubli Tigers themselves in Hubli, their home ground. You know, unfortunately, they faced every match which was definitely rain affected, and because of that net run rate and all the sharing of the points that happened, they did suffer, did not get qualified, the men's. Inside out, good placement, boundary, Shishira, yeah, she's trying to keep the attack against the opposition. Another good boundary from her.
Yeah, Shishira here, going inside out, trying to keep that scoreboard ticking. Very important here, very crucial here for the Mysore Warriors. She needs to build a partnership here. And not just build a partnership, but also anchor the innings, try and go for the big ones here now.
Yeah, tomorrow, of course, we will have the Gulbarga Mystics and the Mysore Warriors play the afternoon match. Quick single needed, but chance at the bowler's end. The throw was halfway down the wicket, but still there will be a run out. Diksha completed almost, say, 2 runs. She went to the batter end, then she came back to the bowler end, still finding short of her ground.
Zero communication between Diksha and Shishira. Very, very poor calling between the wickets. And easy, soft dismissal here for the Hubli Tigers.
Uncalled for, really. Shishira was trying to make matters a little more interesting for the Mysore Warriors. Diksha should have understood that one. It's not the quick single that they need right now. It's Shishira being on strike. That's the order of the day. And she did not give up her ground, Shishira. But yeah, talking of tomorrow matches, the afternoon match, a very crucial one again. Gulbarga Mystics will take on the Mysore Warriors. So, 2 teams are probably finding themselves at the wrong end of the result of their matches, will be clashing on against each other tomorrow. But until then, it is Mysore Warriors to try and minimize as much runs as possible from 77. Quicker delivery. Now she gets a chance to take that single. Pooja has walked in at number 8.
Yeah, as you were mentioning earlier, it's important now for the Mysore Warriors to secure a closer loss, I would say. Try and get that run rate, as those would definitely matter towards the business end of this tournament.
Yeah, that's exactly what I've been discussing from the previous over. If possibly somewhere from the dugout, if that message could go to the batters in the middle. Pooja gets off the mark. 15 gone. 80 for 6. Very tough 5 overs ahead for the Mysore Warriors.
Change in comms as we have myself Vikram joined by Srinath, K. Srinath, to take you through the rest of this match. This may sound sensational, but Pooja Kumari is a very, very handy person with the bat. We saw her bowl off spin earlier. Shishira is, striking it big. Yes, the target is a little bit difficult to achieve, but I would say they'd get reasonably close, 135, thereabout.
Certainly, the spinners have applied the brakes, and regular loss of wickets have not helped the cause of the Mysore Warriors. The Tigers are really roaring. Impeccable lines and lengths, field positioning, helped by some good catching and good ground fielding. This is why the position Hubli Tigers are sitting in comfortably. 80 for 6, Mysore Warriors.
So this match somewhat mirroring the previous one we saw with the Mystics and the Blasters, almost a reflection of that match. So does this point towards something in this particular tournament, batting second and finding it hard?
We've seen 4 teams in action today, and we would see the almost all the teams have been in action today, and certainly when they come back tomorrow, they would certainly rework on their strategies. It's just not about a formula wherein win toss, field first and try to chase it down. Teams that have put on score on board first up have comfortably defended those targets, especially the first one, 151 and 103.
And that's going to the third man boundary for a Kalyani Blasters boundary. That's Kalyani Motors boundary. Fantastic. Very good shot by Shishira. Let's see what she and Pooja have to come up with now.
Intention was clear, using a feet, trying to go over mid-off. It's the outer half of the bat, but there was a big gap between the wicket-keeper and the shot third was quite square. I think in any runs in any which way would be welcome. It's about bridging the gap in the loss is what Mysore Warriors will be looking at. Making room this time around and going over cover point of the back foot. A tough shot to play. Nevertheless, fetching her 2 important runs. Shishira has looked good so far in her short stay. You were talking about the same player who took short breaks to get her back foot game going, which certainly is proving today. And we've seen some fine shots, especially inside-out shots over extra cover. Couple of boundaries scored off the off-spinner. She's looked in fine touch, and the added elegance a left-hander can always produce.
Correct. And also there's the aspect that she is a genuine all-rounder. She just bowled the lone over today, but she is a fast-medium bowler. So I think when they get into those stages, they need to watch out for their workloads also mentally. That's the end of the over. 88 for 6 after 16 overs. Uphill task here.
Rameshwari Gaikwad with a handy off spinners. We did see her operate in the power play. She's come back from the pavilion end, the Anil Kumble diamond box end for a last over of her spell. 67 in 24 balls. It's all about how much of the 67 can Mysore knock off and ensure they stay alive even though a loss in the offing on the NRR. That's the key now, and that's what Mystics tried to do in the first game against the Bengaluru Blasters. I think it's a short turnaround time, and the teams have to regroup that bit quickly, and the support staff and the performance analysts have to sit with each sides and ensure the strategies cannot be the same. It's not one size that fit all, win toss and field first. I think this would certainly be looked into, and we could see a different strategy being devised from the games that are going to come up from tomorrow.
That is a run-out attempt, but umpire is calling for the review. Let's see if we have a dismissal here. But just in the meantime, what I feel is that the The Mysore Warriors lack a little experience in their middle order, top middle order. Well, you would have thought that, let's take a look at this dismissal. Is that going to be out as the TV umpire deliberates? Looks to be clearly in to us. So we normally have Shubha and Shishira, they open together for the club and for the state also. I think the left-right combination was on the top of their minds, and some of the youngsters got chances up ahead. They held back Shishira till later, and then you had Pooja, who's the other experienced player, probably holding her back just for a late onslaught, which I don't think will really help in this situation.
Candles are going to burn late night for strategies to be devised, and it's going to be a Herculean task to turn around in this short span of time. And early days, but before you realize, with a wink of the eyelid, teams would have had 3 or 4 games under the belt, and it's the top 2 teams which are going to qualify for the finals. So it's going to be catch up after some point in time. Straight on the ground, handsome over long on. Shishira is looking in fine form and good striking form. Round the stumps, length ball, using a long levers, full flow of the bat, straight down the ground for a cycle pure Agarbatti 6.
There you see. Well, actually, do you really think the left-right combination is such a vital ingredient that we need to change your batting order? Or would you go with your stronger batters like Shishira and Shubha in the next game?
Less number of overs to your best batters in this tournament or in this format certainly is not going to help your cause. And obviously your best batters have to bat in the top 3, which is very, very important. And if Pooja is one of your best strikers, Mysore would certainly rework the strategy and ensure they put her in the top 4 in the forthcoming games. Turnaround is going to be pretty short. They have to come back strongly.
We could also sense why the Hubli Tigers, when they bid, that's the end of the over, that's 17 overs, and we're 99 for 6, a Herculean task again.
.56 and 18 balls. Certainly it looks a real uphill task. And Priya Chavan comes back for a 3rd over from the Rahul Dravid end. From here on, it's about redeeming the remaining 3 overs and trying to garner as many runs as possible, with just 4 wickets left in hand. What can Mysore look at gaining from this? Has to load the ball again, wide outside the off stump. I believe the target of 150, 155 is going to be the par score on this Chinnaswamy track. When IPL happens here, it's in excess of 200 when team bats first. But looking into the way things have panned out, this could be the score which the teams batting first would look at.
Quite right there. And do you actually see now that these teams like Mysore Warriors and the Gulbarga Mystics, when they play the next match, if they win the toss, do you think they'd prefer to bat first just to take the pressure off in chasing with the kind of batting order that's coming up right now for them? What goods they're delivering?
Certainly, Mystics would be back in the hotel watching this game keenly and would have certainly redrawn their strategies and given it a thought, saying what if it could be batting first. Knowing very well to defend a score of 120, 130 could be that much easier rather than chasing a target of 140 or 150, having the sort of experience they have in their batting lineup. And if they're going to have a couple of losses up front, it's going to be a real catch-up time for them to make a comeback in this short tournament. We have a couple of breaks in between. I think there's one break after tomorrow and they regroup again for 2 more days of cricket. That would be the defining moment in this tournament. We've been speaking about fielding standards. A good effort. The fielder did run in quite well. But unfortunately, it is Nikki Prasad, the India Under-19 World Cup winning captain and the future star not only of Karnataka cricket but Indian cricket. Well picked up and a well-timed shot. Straight to the fielder where she was, diving in front. Hard hands, the ball just hitting the top half of the palm and lobbing out.
That's gone for a boundary. Extra cover, fantastic shot there. Coming a little late, but yet they're trying. That's Pooja. She can deliver something for you.
Another Kalyani Motors boundary 4 for Mysore Warriors. Just got past the 100 with that boundary. A slow ball from Priya Chauhan. Just sat up, rank a long hop. Good timing and execution, picking up the gap well in front of extra cover. When we talk about experience, you hardly got 2 more overs left after this. The batter just leaving the ball to rest and just looking at the umpire, maybe could we get something out of it? It's time to throw anything and everything at the ball and try to get that much closer to the target. They lose by 20 runs. They gain that much on the net run rate. That's what Mysore should be looking at now. Finishes the over with the dot ball. 107 for 6. Mysore Warriors at the end of 18.
Monica Patel, the former India fast, comes on to bowl the penultimate over, the 19th. Usually considered a crucial over. You're some of your best bowlers bowl in that over, but out here it's really, really easy, smooth sailing for the bowling team, Hubli Tigers. Yet she sets her field.
What has been most impressive is the left-arm fast bowler getting the ball back into the right-hand batter, which not only on good lengths, but at good speeds Monica has delivered. Once again, batter trying to make room, but she's just not disturbed by that movement before the bowlers got to the bowling crease. Yes, and speeds, though we don't have the speed gun here to depict what speed she's bowling, but she's hurrying the batter for a shots on this pitch, which has looked an absolute beauty to bat. It's just about application. The pressure the Mysore Warrior batters are facing is the loss of wickets at regular intervals. 26.18 is what they need to get per over. Certainly, it's a huge mountain to climb.
Yes, they don't seem to be connecting many. I think Monica Patel is using all her tricks. Shishira at a desperate best here. Nothing can be done except throw the kitchen sink at the ball. I think Pooja's giving us some advice from the other end, but let's see what they come up with.
40 of 25. To me, she's looked the best batter from both sides in terms of timing, exquisite display of shots. She can play for a personal milestone. In the bargain, she's going to get more runs for the Mysore Warriors, which is of paramount importance. This time around, a swing. The ball didn't go in the direction which it intended to. Nevertheless, overshot third for a Kalyani Motors boundary. One more boundary from the bat of Shishira Gowda. She's just one strike away from a half century.
It's an excellent strike there. She knows where to play. It's a hard hit at the ball, a definitive strike. I wouldn't call that really an edge. And that was the boundary from the moment left the bat. She knew that. She had 2-3 short options there, and she finally found a way right there to deep third.
This is what we call playing the field. 4 fielders inside the ring on the offside. Short third, backward point, extra cover, and mid-off. All that she needs to do is go hard at the ball. If it's going to be a cultured edge, what we call, is going to fly away through that vacant area. This time around, connection. Once again, a drop chance. I think we've seen a couple go down like this. Just a few yards behind the extra cover fielder. we can see the sort of disappointment on the face of the bowler. A chance gone down, otherwise it would have been wicket number 2 for Monica Patel.
Do you suppose they let's see that you see that like they guard down a little?
Tigers would have certainly made note of all this spilled chances. Certainly a guy who takes a lot of pride in the fielding of the teams that he's always been associated with, and he would have certainly made a note of this. Just winning by Monica Patel finishes her spell of 4 overs, conceding 17 runs with just 1 wicket to her name. I would say that
That at this stage, the Hubli Tigers.
certainly not, but a short ball making room, just moving outside the leg stump and inside out, shot on the back foot. Excellent timing and placement, and this is one player certainly I would be keen to have a look at more of her batting in this tournament. Shishira Gowda has looked excellent so far in this innings. Stepping out down the ground, not much of timing, and good call from the striker. The return for 2. Straight down the ground is what the area she's been targeted. And welcome runs these for the Mysore Warriors. With that too, it's a well-compiled half-century. The first half-century of this Maharani Trophy KSCA T20 2026. As straight as a ramrod, as nicely as it can come. Using your feet straight down the ground, the best place in the ground to put the ball in, where you can't have a fielder for it. Back-to-back boundaries from the blade of Shishira Gowda.
Here you see that shot, beautifully executed, straight back past the bowler, straight as an arrow, as my fellow commentator just said. So here you have this example of a player who, like you said, yes, there is a good need for practice matches and all sorts of matches, but she does know when to take time off to practice, in the nets, if you call it open nets, and that effect is showing here just now.
With a late flourish, but on a personal note, she would be extremely happy with the sort of knock she's had in her first outing in this Maharani Trophy 2026. This would give her a lot of confidence, and even the Mysore Warriors. Use of feet once again. Excellent work at long off. A sliding stop certainly saved 2 runs on that. Otherwise would have raced away to the boundary. The cap was just closing. Nevertheless, 155 is the target. They've got up to 128. What we were discussing about, get to 130, 135. Striking distance, but nevertheless, bridge the gap in your loss. What could help you if you're a team that is placed second with equal number of points. Welcome runs for the Mysore Warriors. Need to reload and re-bowl the ball again. 4 wides, +1. 5 bonus runs for the Mysore Warriors.
So we are getting closer at 135. Yeah, so that's a good omen for them. They know they can do better in other situations. Maybe look introspect a little bit after this game, which is what everybody does anyway.
Once again, finishes off the game with an exquisite boundary. Kalyani Motors boundary over, short extra cover. Once again, the inside-out shot playing against the left-arm spinner. Mysore Warriors finish their inning.
Yeah, but to Saina's credit, she probably did everything she was told to do, and she found in front of her rampaging Shishira. And of course, Pooja was always a threat, just that she should happen to farm the strike. And you said, yes, she can take some heart from this game, Shishira. But knowing her, I don't think she'll be smiling too much about the landmarks. She is a leader in many senses. I'm sure a lot of the strategy would have been coming from Shishira. She works with Shubha very closely. So
Distance. But overall, certainly the evening or night belonged to the batters of Hubli. They started off with a flourish, lost a few wickets in the middle, which Mysore Warriors managed to pull the game back in their favor. 154 was what they restricted them to. The batting card of Mysore Warriors, not much contributions at the dancers always accompany them. be it the Hubli Tigers in the Maharaja Trophy or here with the Maharani. Fell off track. They didn't have the ammunition in them to get the wickets at that point in time. Some splendid catching in the outfield by Mysore Warriors. This is what brought them into the game. But again, 155. Certainly looking at the game situation, looked a big target. And Hubli definitely did go in with a plan and the momentum after the first half. And these celebrations are becoming a folklore of this particular game. Absolutely great pictures we are getting to see, and people who have come in on a weekday to watch these encounters will be extremely happy with the way the game extracted some good pace on the surface, picked up a wicket and a couple of needless runouts. That was all due to the sort of pressure that was built by the Hubli bowlers due to some excellent dot ball bowling. Not too many boundaries or sixers to boast of in the Mysore Warriors innings, but the end result was
Really a pressure game in that sense.
absolutely, it's a first game for all the four teams today, and certainly they would have had a taste of what the conditions look like, and playing under lights was a great experience. And yes, true, they would regroup quickly and decide on what they need to do in the forthcoming games, which are slated for tomorrow. And as we come to the end of game 2 here at the Chinnaswamy Stadium, we have Naveen Shauri ready down with the post-match presentation. Let's go down to Naveen for the post-match presentation.
Maharani Trophy